today, turning in a speed of right around 178.2 miles an hour. The green flag waves, and our first qualifier is on his way.
That 35th best time in practice, very unlike Matt Kenseth. Greg, you see how wide he exits those corners? You would think that you'd want to keep the car down just a little bit more. Maybe it's just the chassis up. Maybe that's one reason that he was 35th best. Watch when he goes down the corner. You'd think he'd want to hug that white line a little bit more, but he abruptly goes up to the racetrack. Is that the rule?
Well, Benny, the two ends of this racetrack are actually a little bit different, and this track is very, very intimidating to a rookie. And as you know, we only run here once a year. Matt's probably only tested here once, so probably the more laps he gets on Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the faster he'll be.
Crosses the yard of bricks, the checkered flag, and Kenseth becomes our first qualifier. His speed is 177.655, a lap of 50.660. 49 have driven for an attempt to qualify, so we've just begun. Stay with us. We'll be right back. 77.655, and on the racetrack right now, attempting to make his fifth Brickyard 400, is Dave Marcus. Last year here at Indianapolis, Dave started in the 29th position and finished in 40th spot. He did lead a lap. This is the Real Tree Chevrolet. There you see Matt Kenseth as the only qualifier, and that number up there in the box will indicate how Marcus is running, or the car on the track, in comparison to the current pole sitter.
Wow. Marcus evidently had some very serious problem around the racetrack. As you see his time, 154.493, 58.255 seconds. I mean, folks, that's about 8 seconds slower than he practiced. So obviously had some serious problem somewhere on the track.
Jerry Punch is with Matt Kenseth.
Our leading Rebecca's Rookie of the Year candidate, Matt Kenseth, ran a 50.660. Matt, a little bit slower than what you'd run in practice, a 50.5.
Yeah, that's not going to be too good, Jerry. We have been struggling in qualifying trim here with a dual Ford the whole time we've been here, and never, I guess, really did figure it out. That's, you know, the last 2 laps we made qualifying, and that one in practice is the best we've done, but I don't think that's going to be nearly good enough to get us in the top 25.
Your thoughts on qualifying here for the first time coming here? All these thousands of people on both sides of the racetrack waving and screaming as you go by. Pretty special place, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It'd be easier to be in a good mood if we run a little faster, but it's just, you know, it is a special place, and it's really neat to come here to Indy, but when you're out there doing your job, it's the same as anywhere. So we just, we need to get, you know, figure out how to get this car to work a little bit better, and, you know, figure out the things I need to go fast so we can have a good run here on Saturday.
All right, it's Matt Kenseth. Let's check in down with Bill Weber.
And Bobby Labonte is the Winston Cup point leader, scheduled to go out 11th here this morning, 7th in the practice session. That lap came late in the practice session. A good lap for you in practice. How about now?
Oh, that was okay. You know, we, you know, pretty comfortable with it at the time. Track temperature's gone up a little bit since then, of course, so we'll see what we got.
You guys worked this morning to make the car better because it wasn't to your liking early in the day.
Yeah, I mean, it just was a little bit too tight, so we, you know, tried our best to free it up, and we got it pretty close there at the end. So maybe this will come to us if we don't go too far.
Success for you last season at Pocono. This is a similar track, Bobby. I know you want to get back in victory lane.
Yeah, I mean, and we ran good here last 2 years. So, you know, looking forward to Saturday's race. A fun race to race, a fun racetrack to race on when you have a good car. So hopefully we can accomplish a lot and get our car working really good so we can have fun on Saturday.
Good luck.
Okay, thanks.
Bobby Labonte, as we enter this Brickyard 400 in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, is the points leader by 53 over Dale Jarrett. Third place, Dale Earnhardt trails Jarrett by 54 points. 5 of the top 10 separated by 50 points or less. So indeed a very good points battle going on in the Winston Cup Series in the year 2000. Next qualifier is Kenny Wallace.
And Kenny Wallace was 37th best in the 2.5-hour practice session that concluded about an hour ago, a little over an hour ago. Goes in turn 3. And he abruptly also comes off the corner against the outside retaining wall. So I guess they're answering my question. That is the groove these drivers have found. That is the best way around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Well, Benny, I think they need to keep the car free to gain good speed down the straightaway, and maybe that's the best way for both of those guys. Their car was the freest, maybe bringing it up a little bit higher than keeping it down lower.
As long as that number up there in the white box is in the minus category, it means that he is running faster than the pole sitter. And we don't have the time and speed coming in right now yet for Kenny Wallace. He has competed in 5 previous Brickyard 400s. He started 41st last year and ended up in 39th position. We are still waiting on the time and speed report for Kenny Wallace. While we do that, let's find out what happened to Dave Marcus, Doc.
Well, Dave, considerably slower than what you had practiced, but obviously the track is changing pretty quickly here, as it's wont to do even in the month of May here with the sun coming out. What happened to you?
Well, I got a little bit loose over in turn 2, and I had to drive the car a little harder through there and then wiggle the car around. That probably hurt. And sun was out beating pretty hard when I qualified, but now we've got another cloud again, so it'll probably turn back around. But this track is very temperamental, just a little bit of sun, and it'll slow it right down.
How much did you give up? You think you give up maybe a half a second by getting a little high over there and getting loose?
I probably did. I mean, we practiced at a 50-77, I think, and we were hoping we could get the thing down to a 50-40, so we give away 4 or 5 tenths probably.
All right, Dave Marcus became the oldest driver to ever lead a lap at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway here last year in the Brickyard 400, Bob, at the age of 58.
And now we get the report on Kenny Wallace. He is fastest of the 3 that we have had qualify. 50.171 seconds. That's a 179.493. Or rather 386 for Kenny Wallace. Indianapolis Motor Speedway, we're qualifying for Saturday's Brickyard 400. And the most recent qualifier was Wally Dallenbach, who has turned in the second fastest speed so far, 178.731, 50.355 seconds. So Kenny Wallace right now remains as the provisional pole sitter with 4 qualified. Well, one of America's most enduring corporate images, the Goodyear blimp floating overhead, providing an aerial view of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The Spirit of Goodyear is one of 7 airships in the Goodyear blimp fleet. We welcome them and all the race fans who have gathered here for this speed spectacle, the 7th annual Brickyard 400. Jerry's with Kenny Wallace.
Well, Kenny, Herman Wallace, 50.171. You're the first car to go out and actually pick up time from what you've practiced. You guys obviously found something from practice.
Well, first of all, the Square D Cooper Lighting car was, we weren't right in practice. We had a left front spring collapse on us, and we lost all the rate. We didn't know what was going on. We were like a second off. Car was driving bad. We got all that fixed. We've been playing catch-up. But, Doctor, my excuse is going to be I qualified in the sun. So when they start out qualifying me, that's it. All good race car drivers have excuses. So my excuse right now at Indy is I qualified in the heat and the sun. And, I was slipping, sliding, smoking the right rear. I was out of control. So we'll take that time.
Well, what if it stays, hey, Jerry, ask him what if it stays sunny the rest of the time?
What if it stays sunny the rest of the time now? If Benny wants to know.
Well, then I'll whoop up on them. But, Elliott's going to get me right now. It's 20 degrees out here. The shades are all the crew. I know my brother Rusty's going, Polanski, look at her. Make sure the clouds are out there. Everybody's going to be looking for clouds, man. I caught the sun. Bad draw.
Okay, that's Kenny Wallace. Now, how about a guy qualified pretty well here last year, Michael Waltrip? He's standing by with Bill Weber.
And Michael Waltrip has been in the news lately. New car owner, big plans for the future, but your immediate concern right now qualifying here, how is your race car?
Well, it's pretty good. I've gotten the first and second turns down really well in my simulated qualifying run, and then in 3 and 4 it pushed. So we adjusted it. I think it's got speed in it. I believe we can get up there pretty good if I can just get all 4 corners down when we go to qualify.
You are trying a different look as far as helmets are concerned this weekend.
Yeah, Dale Earnhardt always says the open-faced helmet's safer, that there's less mass, less weight on your head, and in case of a bad wreck, you don't throw that big helmet all around. So, I don't know. I've just always wanted to try it, and so I'm giving it a whirl and see what I think about it. But as far as the plans for 2001 with our team, Jim Smith's really done a nice job of bringing this team up another level, and I'm real proud to have an ally on that end, and Nations Rent's back for next year and all of our associates, and so we're just excited about the rest of this year and next year as well.
Good luck. Thanks. Okay, and Kenny Wallace was right. Elliott beat him.
Yes, he did. Elliott is on the provisional pole with a lap of 180.440. So already, BP, the track record has been broken.
Yes, track record 179.6 has been shattered by Elliott.
And Tony Stewart will be the next qualifier. And he was not all that hot in practice, was he?
Boy, he has really been struggling. Talked to Greg Ziccardelli down a few minutes ago, and close to that wall. And he said, we're just struggling trying to find the setup.
Tony started 11th, finished 7th here last year in his only Brickyard 400 appearance. But, of course, he has many laps of experience on this racetrack in the Indy 500. Jerry's with Wally Dallenbach.
Wally, 50.355 seconds. Good lap for a new race car and maybe a new beginning for this team. I know you guys are excited about the second half of the year.
Yeah, we hope so. This is the first car that we built. And we struggled a little bit with it. The car feels really good, but we did about 6 things to loosen it up. And we loosened it up a little bit too much. That's about as loose as I want to be around here. So hopefully they'll just get us in the show, and we'll race our way toward front.
Okay, Wally Dallenbach solidly and right now with that lap.
Tony Stewart was supposed to drive in the USAC Coors Light Silver Bull division last night at Indianapolis Raceway Park. However, that event was rained out. Let's see what he did here as far as qualifying for the Brickyard 400 is concerned. And he clocks in 3rd quick with a 50.195, 179.301 for Tony Stewart. So right now, Bill Elliott remains on the provisional pole. 6 have qualified for this year's Brickyard. We'll be right back. Indianapolis Motor Speedway for Saturday's Brickyard 400. Most recent to qualify, having just taken the checkered flag, Joe Nemechek, who turns in a rather disappointing time and speed, BP.
He will be crushed with this speed of 50.448, 178.402. And during the GM testing, wasn't he one of the fastest cars, Jim?
If he wasn't the fastest, he was certainly one of the fastest. But that just goes to show, Benny, this is a big racetrack, and sometimes a little bit on each corner can really cost you a lot.
Right now, the fastest in official qualifying is Bill Elliott. Jerry?
And Awesome Bill turned a lap at 49.876 seconds. A new track record, Bill, and a darn good lap for you in that Ford.
Well, we picked it up from practice, and I think that's what it's all about. You know, the track's hotter, it's slicker. It's a little bit harder to get a hold of through the corners, and you're going to give a little bit up. And, you know, I wish I could have done some things differently, but, you know, when you're going through practice earlier this morning with so much cloud cover, it's hard to guess what the racetrack's going to be, you know, at 1:30 to 2:30 in the afternoon. So that's the things we got to kind of guess through and fight through. And I should have made just a few more adjustments, and, you know, we'll see where we stack up. But I'm very pleased, you know, with McDonald's team. They've done a heck of a job this season, and, you know, we just hope we can finish a race this weekend versus what I've been through in the past several weeks.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Bill Elliott gives us something to shoot at. Let's check in down with Bill Weber with another Bodine story. Bill?
Well, it says Terry Labonte on the car, but it is Todd Bodine subbing for the injured Terry in the car. You feel comfortable in there?
Yeah, it actually fits pretty good. A little surprising. I fit right in Terry's fire suit, too.
How many laps did you get in here today, Todd?
Well, we didn't get a whole lot. We ran 6 laps of practice, and the car's a lot better than the driver right now. It's been since '95 since I've ran around this racetrack, and still getting used to it. It's a little different. The entry speeds to the corners are a lot faster now, and it takes a little getting used to, but the car's real good. Just go out and get a decent lap. You know, don't want to get carried away. You know, I'm not going to sit on the pole, so we're just going to get a good lap.
Good luck.
Thank you.
While Todd Bodine gets strapped in the number 5 car, here's the 16 of Kevin LePage coming out for the checkered flag.
He's another car that really struggled during practice, just 45th best at 50.967, just barely under 51 seconds. Let's see if Pat Trosson and his guys have been able to find something during this hour between practice and qualifying. Not much. As a matter of fact, he's a little slower than he practiced at 51.248, 175.617 miles per hour.
Down to Jerry Punch, who's with Tony Stewart.
Well, the good news for Tony is at 50.195 second lap, Tony was quickest you've run all day. The bad news is it's still not what you would like to have had out of this brand new race car.
That's not going to be good enough to probably get in the top 25 even, unfortunately. But, you know, Bobby's getting ready to go out, and I'd say he's got a shot at the front row for sure. So, you know, we're behind for some reason. And I got here late to the track, and that put us behind about 25 minutes this morning. And, you know, it's just kind of been downhill from there. We just really haven't found the balance. So, you know, Bobby's found it a little better than we have. I don't know if I'm trying to overdrive the car, trying to go fast or what, but I want to do so well here. I'm probably doing more damage to myself than anything right now.
Now, we're accustomed to seeing Tony Stewart smile on Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Very hard for him to smile here right now, considering the lap he just ran.
Well, let's see what his Joe Gibbs teammate can do. Bobby Labonte is currently on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You can see by our blimp shots it is still a little bit hazy. However, at times, as has been documented by us and several of the drivers, the sun is peeking through. Here's the green flag, and Bobby Labonte, whose best start here was in 1995 and also in 94, fifth. And his best finish came in 97 and 99. He ended up as the runner-up.
You see how low the front air dam is down on that car? We're talking about that this year. But a lot of guys are putting kind of a day-glow, bright-colored tape down there. Here at Indianapolis, they've got cameras around the speedway, so you can watch your car from inside the garage area, and that'll tell you a lot about the body attitude of it. When the air dam is that low, that's a lot of speed around here at Indianapolis. Nice and flat around the corner. Jimmy Maycar and his guys have done a good job of setting that car up.
And this could be the pole winner. Pole sitter so far. And he was the 7th best in practice this morning. Let's see. Time to beat right now is 49.876. That's the time of Bill Elliott.
And I hear a lot of cheers from the grandstands. They think it is, and it is the fastest so far.
49.763, 180.858 miles per hour, and that track record just gets a little faster.
Well, among those coming up, Darrell Waltrip, who, as we told you earlier, is out of provisionals. However, he was the 13th quickest during the practice. Maybe that will be his lucky number here today. And Dr. Jerry Pudge back at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Michael Waltrip, our most recent qualifier. He is third fastest. His time was 50.043, a 179.845 mile an hour lap. That, too, breaks the previous track record. Bill?
Well, as we have discussed, Darrell Waltrip must make this field on speed, and so far you have some speed.
Yeah, we're pretty fast. I think we'll be pretty good, actually. Right now, I even no faster than they're going. I think I got a shot at being on pole for a little while. We'll see here. Had some good practice laps, and hopefully, we tuned her up, and the driver will get up on the wheel, and we'll get this thing up in the show pretty good here.
You said in the garage this morning you felt pretty confident.
Well, we tested pretty decent, and then we worked on the car and got a better motor, and everything's working out for a change. Normally go home, work on it, come back and say what happened, but today so far so good. So hopefully we'll get a good result here in just a few minutes.
And fresh in from Owensboro, some barbecue always helps. Right?
Oh yeah, 3 days in Owensboro, and of course I won at Whitesville Sunday night in Harry Pedley's car, the 100 car, and it's a piece of cake from here on.
Good luck.
Well, we're determining the top 25 qualifiers today in first round, and here are the 10 who have clocked in so far, led by Bobby Labonte with a speed of 180.857. Dave Marcus is the slowest, and the provisional pole sitters with Jerry.
And our current Winston Cup points leader, 49.763 seconds, Bobby, a new track record. They were standing and cheering when you came by. Got to be pleased.
Yeah, it was a good lap for us. We ran a little bit faster in practice, but the track temperature did go up a little bit. So, there's still a lot of cars that beat us in practice that are liable to beat us again or beat us in qualifying. But yet, I think it's a good lap. It should get us safely in the top 10. And, we hope it's better than that. But, it just depends on what the weather does.
Pontiac has never won the Brickyard 400. You were second, third, and second the last 3 years. People are saying this is Bobby Labonte's year to win it. How about you?
It was all in a Pontiac, too, so I don't know. I mean, we're real close. We got a great race set up here, so hopefully we can, be there at the end and, be a contender like we have been the past 2-3 years. And it's a neat racetrack when you have a good race car, and these guys are going to give me a good race car. So if everything goes right, hopefully we'll be okay.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Bobby Labonte on the provisional pole with a new track record.
Ken Schrader just completed his run, clocks in with the 8th best.
At 50.519, average speed was 178.151 miles per hour. So Schrader a little bit slower than he practiced today.
But the interesting statistic on him was what you just saw. He has completed the most laps and the most miles here at the Brickyard 400. 960 laps. Right here by Todd Bodine is 6th fastest of the 12 that have taken time so far. Todd qualifies at a 50.344 seconds, 178.770. Bill?
And Bob, we just want to update everybody on Terry Labonte, who was here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway earlier this morning and did turn some laps in this car. However, crew chief Gary Dehart told me just a few minutes ago that Terry really didn't feel very well after he got out of the car. And they're still very cautious because of the concussion he suffered at Daytona. In fact, Terry Labonte has left the track. We're told he's flying home to North Carolina to be examined by his doctors there. So Todd is in the car. As Todd told us, he took a few laps this morning. It will be Todd's car until Terry gets back. His status for Saturday and the Brickyard 400, as far as Terry Labonte is concerned, is still up in the air.
And, of course, he's trying to keep that incredible streak going of consecutive starts, the longest in NASCAR Winston Cup racing. All right, on the racetrack right now is Stacy Compton in the Kodiak Ford. Stacy suffered an injury here in a testing crash on the 17th of July, broke 2 ribs in his left wrist. And how did he do in practice this morning, BT?
He's not very good. He was 41st best.
As soon as he takes the green flag, we'll see how he does on this run. Meanwhile, we'll go down to Jerry Punch again.
And we told you a year ago, Michael Waltrip qualified 5th. Right now, you're 3rd, Mikey, at 50.043 seconds. Picked up almost 4/10 on the qualifying. That he must have borrowed an awfully fast helmet from Schrader.
Yeah, I got his helmet, but you know, we've worked on this car all day, Jerry, and it's so weird how things have changed. A year ago, I know what springs I have in the car, and nowadays people are running half that. I mean, just real soft front springs, and so we come up here and try to go that direction. And Bobby Kennedy, he's a good crew chief. He works well with me, and he said, let's just put it back like it was last year. We've all done pretty good there. We hadn't run that fast yet this time, so he put her back, and I went out and run. I was just a little loose, but all in all, I was proud of that lap. The car works well, so we're in the show, and I'm happy about that.
Michael Waltrip currently 3rd quickest. The old setup is a good setup.
Stacy Compton has qualified 10th quick. Not bad for Stacy at 50.639, 177.729 miles an hour. He becomes our 13th qualifier of the afternoon. And coming up next in the qualifying order is Darrell Waltrip. We'll show you how he does when we return. Indianapolis, where Hut Strickland has just taken the checkered flag, trying to make his first race of 2000. He did brush the wall briefly. He's trying to make his 4th Brickyard 400. His best finish was in 1996, where he finished in 18th position. Yeah, I guess he did brush it, didn't he?
He just brushed it as he came off turn 4, I believe. But he ran 50.450. Average speed 178.394 miles per hour, and that will put him in 9th of the 14 cars that qualify. Watch this. Comes off the corner. Oh, that right rear just slaps that wall.
You want to carry speed. You don't want to get out of the gas, and you know you're going to hit that thing. You're just hoping it's not going to hit hard enough to slow you down.
I remember a guy named Gordon that did about the same thing a few years ago here, huh?
Came off there completely sideways. Luckily, I didn't see that day.
Let's get out to Bill Weber.
Well, new colors for Johnny Benson, colors he hopes to carry for the rest of this year. And that solidifies his seat for the rest of the season, but pretty good in practice today as well as your new colors.
I'll tell you what, we're about 15th quick in practice. I just hope we can hold it there, maybe a little bit better, but real happy that Aaron's come on board. I mean, we were going to run this race either way, but then pretty much go on vacation. And so it's all right. We're, like I say, we're extremely thankful for everybody at Aaron's to come on board, and we're going to run the rest of the year.
Good luck.
Thank you.
What is that thing, Ray?
That is actually a new style head support on the left side. We found that we want to keep the driver's head supported, but by adding bigger supports there, we were taking some vision away from him. And I don't know what kind of seat that is that Johnny's sitting in. But what they've done is just put a little piece of aluminum there to slow his head down if he were to get up against the wall, but allow him to have the vision.
Ah, good point.
Here is Darrell Waltrip, who must make this race on speed. He cannot use a provisional. His best start here came in 1997 when he lined up on the outside of the 2nd row. His best finish was in 94 when he came home 6th.
Ray was told on the headset that Randy LaJoy made that seat that we saw in Johnny Benson's car there just a moment ago.
And as a lot of people know, Randy LaJoy is a very successful multiple champion Busch driver, so he knows a lot about what it takes to have a good, safe seat in a race car. And I know Randy's going into the seat business, and a lot of guys are now starting to switch over. Randy's seat is completely different than a traditional NASCAR seat.
Oh, DW's got a great lap going. That arrow would indicate about where we estimate he would be. Somewhere around second, fourth. Can he jump it up a little bit? Oh, he did it! Oh, look at this! DW. 49.745 average speed, 180.923. Oh, DW be dancing the jig when he gets that, won't he?
The Nicky Shuffle will be back. That's faster than he practiced. He practiced at 180.249 and qualified at 180.923. How about that for the driver in his victory tour for the year 2000? His brother Michael among those cheering and congratulating Darrell Waltrip.
Wow.
Sounds like you need to start telling Darrell he's out of provisionals more.
Yeah, that's right. He has gotten the trick done here today.
He's the man.
Listen to the crowd and Waltrip with his hand in the air.
So evidently he had his radio on and his crew told him just how quick that lap was. Hey.
This is about as big a response during a qualifying session I can ever remember here at Indy. Positions, the most in the modern era. His last pole was in November of '95 at Atlanta. Will it hold up here today? We'll stay with us during the remainder of the afternoon, and we will find out. In any case, just an excellent run for ODW. Jerry?
And they continue to come over to congratulate Darrell Waltrip, trying to get unbuckled. The smile, he is smiling so wide. And listen to this, folks. Cheering. We're going back over here and try to back across. We'll bring DW taking a bow here. His final time at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So much emotion. Darrell, for years they screamed and cheered, and now they're cheering again.
Oh, man. Well, I love it. You know, I like Indy. I come here with more confidence and more enthusiasm than probably anywhere we go. And I want to perform. This is a big race. Good drivers perform in big races.
The farewell, what would it mean, DW, to roll off on the pole on Saturday and to roll into victory lane as a winner at Indianapolis Motor Speedway?
I know you're not going to believe this, but I can win this race. I felt that coming up here. Robert and those guys have helped me with they've done a good job on my motors. Larry Carter, everybody's done a good job on the car. And I can win this race. I ran really good at Pocono. I didn't get the greatest finish, 22nd. But that gave me some confidence coming here because they're very similar. I like coming here. I get excited. I get pumped up. And that's a pretty good start right there.
All right, let's have you wave to this crowd, DW. They love you. Turn to this crowd and wave. Darrell Waltrip on the provisional pole with a brand new track record.
The cheering says it all. Darrell Waltrip on the provisional pole at Indy. Speedway is the scene for Bud Pool qualifying for the Brickyard 400 coming up on Saturday. Well, let's recap what's happened since Darrell Waltrip did his incredible lap. Ricky Craven clocked in ninth quick, 50.351, 178.745. And then just a moment ago, Ward Burton also completed his qualifying lap, and he ended up as the sixth quickest at 50.167, a 179.401.
I believe he's going to be fifth when they shake all this stuff out, Bob.
Yep, he is. You're right. All right, we'll get back down to Jerry Punch.
Well, Stevie Waltrip just came running out a moment ago. To give Darrell a big hug. And Stevie, the tears, the joy. You guys have been through so much. You know these people loved him, but it's been a tough few years, and today they were able to show it.
It's all right. we're just, I've never not believed in this man or his ability. And the last few years have been really rough. And this place represents to him all kinds of dreams and hopes and aspirations. And I don't know whether he'll stay on the pole or not. Doesn't matter. This moment is ours, and I'm excited about it.
You have been his rock. Go celebrate.
I have 31 years.
Stevie Waltrip, how about it? She came up and hugged Darrell. They had tears for each other, and she's wiping them away right now. Very emotional. Yeah, there aren't very many times when you can capture emotion like we have in the last 5 minutes or so with Darrell Waltrip. What it means to him in his final appearance at Indianapolis to put himself for the moment on the pole. Here's the checkered flag coming down for Johnny Benson in the Aaron's Rents RCA Pontiac. And hey, he's got a good lap going there. According to the computer, he clocks in fourth quick, BP.
Yes, just about 50 flat, 50.003. Average speed, 179.989 miles per hour. 18 cars have qualified so far, Bob.
25 will lock in with their speed today. The others will have to decide whether staying with their speed today or participating in second round tomorrow.
See those people down there? See the shadows? That does not bode well for these guys getting ready to qualify. Like Ray Everingham talked about at the very top of the show.
Well, the Brickyard 400 coverage will continue tomorrow with second round qualifying at 1 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN2. RPM tonight will be at 7 o'clock tomorrow night with John Kernan. Our happy hour coverage is at 7:30 Eastern Time on ESPN. Then race day Saturday, RPM today at 11:30. NASCAR today, a 1-hour edition with Bill Weber at noon on ESPN. You can see the Brickyard 400 on ABC at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. And then at 4:30, catch the fourth and final race of this year's IROC competition, also on ABC, 4:30 Eastern Time on Saturday afternoon. But in the meantime, there is more track is Rick Mast, who is on the pole for the inaugural Brickyard 400, driving the A.J. Foyt Conseco car.
Rick was 14th, I should say 18th best in practice. Held here this morning.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., who will qualify a little bit later, but he was the second quickest in practice, Bill.
That's right. The only guy that beat you in practice was your dad, but you guys were fast this morning.
Yeah, we were real comfortable. We had the Budweiser Chevrolet handling pretty good. We changed some things going back and forth, so the car was responding the way we wanted it to. I expect, I expect to be able to run somewhere within that range again, maybe a 50. I'd settle for a 60. I'm just really excited to be running this good here at the Brickyard. This is one of the tracks that I was really looking forward to this year and glad to be competitive.
I heard you got in your dad's car during a test session here.
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting story. He might not back me up on this, but I got in his car because we were having some difficulties with mine, and I got in his car to drive it, and he's like, get in there and see what a real race car drives like. So I ran one lap, and it was within 1,000th of his best lap. So I had Richard Childress writing a contract, but it was a lot of fun. It was pretty fun. I've done that a couple times this year. We did the same thing at Vegas, so it's always good to have bragging rights against Dad.
Okay, good luck in qualifying. Dale Earnhardt Jr., second only to his dad in practice this morning. The Earnhardt's yet to go. Right now, it's the Darrell Waltrip Show at Indy.
Motor Speedway, 20 have qualified so far. Most recent to do so, Elliott Sadler with a 50.350 second lap, 178.749 miles an hour. Now on the racetrack is Jeff Burton. And let's talk with his brother as he gets warmed up and ready to go. Here's Jerry.
And that would be Ward Burton. And Ward, 50.167 seconds. Good enough for sixth quickest with the Caterpillar Pontiac. Better than you had practiced.
I did better than we practiced. Tommy and the guys made some last changes right there at the end of practice. We improved on it. We still need to make another couple of runs to improve on it yet. But it was definitely better than what we were practicing. So anytime you do that, you felt like you gained on it.
Sun's coming out. It's getting a little bit warmer. How was the track changing from your last few laps of practice earlier today?
It wasn't much different, to be honest with you. It was the same track to me. We just, made a few adjustments, and some was in the right direction, some we need to make some more. But before you let me say that we'll talk to Ward later, if anybody gets the pole today that deserved it and be a great farewell, it'll be Darrell Walters. So I hope old Mr. Darrell Walters will get the pole at Indy today.
How about that? Another driver pulling for another driver. That's Ward Burton as he walks away. We'll see what his brother Jeff Burton did in his qualifying effort.
Ward, by the way, looking to make his 200th NASCAR Winston Cup start here this weekend. Jeff down to 14th.
Yes, 50.358, 178.720 miles per hour. He's 14th out of the 21 cars that have qualified.
Bill Weber is with Dale Jarrett, the defending champ.
And the top 3 guys in practice were all named Dale. You were the fastest guy, wasn't named Earnhardt.
Yeah, I'm in pretty good company there, but not sure we can stay there. How about DW? Man, what a laugh that is. And if his sun stays out, we're going to have a hard time even getting close to that.
And the wind's kicking up a little bit, too.
A lot of things. It's amazing. This is such a great racetrack and how smooth it is, but it's amazing how temperamental it is. With just a little bit of sun and a little bit of heat, it becomes a whole different animal. So I know he's sitting in a good spot. Just hope we can get in a pretty good lap.
So if he's on the pole, you want to be second or third when they throw the green flag here?
Oh, it doesn't matter. If we can just get in a good top 10 starting spot, I'll be happy. I know how this car races, so I'm pretty excited about Saturday.
Ooh, a sly smile from Dale Jarrett.
Let's get down to Jerry Punch.
What an emotional roller coaster it has been for Johnny Benson the past few weeks. The team was sold, JB. Then you heard you may only run one more race. That would be here. But then last week's Salvation, a new sponsor. And now, 4th quickest here at Indianapolis. What a lap. Nice lap.
It was. We thought we'd go a little bit quicker, actually. And I slipped and slid a little bit through one. I think I drove in too hard. But outside that, man, being with MB2 and, of course, now getting Aaron's as a sponsor for the rest of the year is just a tremendous boost for us. Really got to thank, Tim Beverly, too, for getting us to this point. He's run all year without any money from sponsorships. So it's been a tough year for everybody on the team. But now everybody's, together. And now we're with a 2-car team deal. And then, of course, Aaron's coming on board. It's great. I mean, it's good that we get to run the rest of the season.
Hey, JB, good luck on Saturday.
Yeah, thank you.
Johnny Benson currently 4th quickest in qualifying thus far.
Darrell Waltrip quickest at 180.923. The year 2000 marks the 75th anniversary for the Goodyear blimp. Since 1925, millions have watched Goodyear's airships while they hover over special events like the Brickyard 400. Qualifying for the Brickyard 400 coming up Saturday on ABC Sports. This is Steve Park, the next to qualify. He will become our 23rd qualifier of the afternoon. Once again, Darrell Waltrip is the fastest, and Bobby Labonte is second quick. Third is Bill Elliott, and 4th is Johnny Benson. Steve Park has raced here at Indianapolis twice. His best start was in '98, 25th. His best finish was last year when he finished 15th.
I'm just not sure. I just got the impression that he missed turn 1 going down the corner. That did not get into turn 1 exactly right. He was 16th best in practice, and maybe I was wrong. Let's see. Park had a pretty good lap. He's 9th right now, 50.207, 179.258. So obviously he knew what he was doing. I didn't know what I was doing.
So Steve Park heads for the pit area. Meanwhile, it is Bobby Hamilton who will be our next qualifier, and Bobby was very quick in practice.
There has been the most unbelievable turnaround with this team in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Words can't describe. He came here and tested for the General Motors test. It was awful. The team, my understanding is they took the car, went to the wind tunnel in Detroit, and were trying to find something out. They came back to the racetrack, a private test, just this car, and tested here. And he went from being one of the slowest cars here to 6th best in practice, a chance to win the race.
Have a new crew chief on this car. Danny Gill is on board. And in the practice today, Bobby Hamilton ran a 181.170. So if he can duplicate that, Waltrip's time on the pole is over. However, as has been pointed out here in the last few minutes, not only is it sunny, but Ray, the wind is kicking up a little bit and blowing right down the backstretch.
It sure is, Bob. And that backstretch is a long run off of turn 2 to turn 3. So when you're facing that headwind, it will slow you down more than you'll gain coming on the front straightaway. And we're talking about Bobby. One of the things Bobby is as a race car driver goes, Bobby's a very, very hands-on driver. He's got a very good understanding of race car aerodynamics, and I think he has now gotten much more hands-on involved with that race team.
And Danny Gill, as Bob said, the new crew chief on the car, was his crew chief for his NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series truck that Joe Ruttman drives. He worked for Bobby Hamilton, and Hamilton just basically loaned him to Larry McClure and these guys to see if they could get this Kodak team turned around. And his lap, he will be disappointed, I would think. He will end up being 15th best at 50.356, 178.727 miles per hour.
So Bobby Hamilton, 15th fastest at the moment. The next qualifier will be the 25th. Will fill the field, so to speak, and it will be Ricky Rudd, the former winner here of the Brickyard 400. That victory coming in 1997. So while he gets the Hamilton Ford up to speed, we'll tell you what you might expect when you tune into SportsCenter at 6 o'clock Eastern time tonight. Trey Wingo and Mike Greenberg have the report about the Orlando Magic. Tracy McGrady and Grant Hill, they have made it official. Get all the details. Greg Norman missed the British Open, but he's back on tour earlier. And Donovan McNabb heading into his second season, and some key free agent additions. All the expectations in Philadelphia are high. Get all of these stories and more on SportsCenter tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network, go.com. Jerry's with Rick Mast.
And he is currently 10th quickest in the Conseco machine. And Rick, this team has really come together the last few weeks. 12th at New Hampshire, that top 10 run, 8th at Pocono, and now you're back at AJ's place where you're expected to do well.
And that's something here at AJ's home, right? It's, you know, we didn't qualify as good as we wanted to at the speed, but we were here with 4 cars. This car here was the slowest car in qualifying trim, but it's the fastest car in race trim. This car was like 0.3 of a second a lap quicker than the other cars in race trim. And I told the guys, I said, listen, I've sat on a pole at Indy. The money lap's the 160th lap Saturday. That's what I want to go after. And, you know, we want to do good here. I mean, Conseco, my sponsor, they're located here in Indy. You know, the home base here. We'll have a lot of folks from Conseco here Saturday. AJ owns Indy. You know, I love this place. And we got Darrell on top right now. You know, Jerry, Darrell has told all us guys that he used to be the man. I mean, he told us that he used to win, but maybe he used to do it. I mean, I see it now. He's got a good lap up there. I'm happy for him.
All right, that's Rick Mast and Ricky Rudd. How about Ricky Rudd's lap, guys?
Yep, it has knocked Darrell Waltrip off the pole. Rudd, fastest so far.
And he ran 49.705, 181.068 miles per hour. And he beat Darrell Waltrip by about 0.04 of a second. Ricky, man, that's almost like Santa Claus.
So the drama continues, and a lot more qualifiers to come, including John Andretti, and he is the focus of our spotlight.
Obviously, I have a lot of admiration for Richard Petty and Cale Yarborough, who I've driven for, and A.J. Foyt's my godfather, and then I got my uncle, my dad. Uncle Mario didn't become impressive until I got older. You know, it was Uncle Mario, you know, big deal, Indy 500. I mean, so what? There's a bunch of other guys in it, too. I know what it's like going on the road. All my buddies were kids of other drivers, and all we knew about was racing. And everybody's dad raced. Olivia's 5, Jarrett's 7, and, of course, Amelia. She's just come along. I play soccer in the backyard with my son, who's really good at soccer. And my little girl, she loves riding horses, so we go over to the stables. And even though Nancy's severely allergic to horses, now that I have another baby, and it's a girl, I told my dad, I said, well, I got out of buying another go-kart, but now I got to pay for another wedding, so I think the go-kart would have been a lot cheaper.
You can bet that his father, Aldo Andretti, is somewhere in the throng, because he has been his greatest fan and his helper all the way through his racing career. John Andretti in the Cheerios Pontiac.
And he was 11th best in the practice session today. Andretti ran. I wish these guys would get so close to that fence. They scare me every time I look up.
Benny, they say as long as you don't take the paint off to the primer, you're good.
Okay.
There you see that John is somewhere around the top 10 unofficially. The official is he is 7th.
Pretty good. He ran a little bit faster. Didn't run quite as fast as he did in practice, but again, I think all these speeds right now, it's going to be very difficult to duplicate what you ran this morning. 50.165, average speed 179.48 miles per hour.
Let's talk to the provisional pole sitter, the guy that knocked Waltrip off the pole.
And that would be the 1997 Brickyard 400 winner, Ricky Rudd. Ricky, 49.705 seconds quicker than you'd run all day long on the provisional pole. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Jerry. I don't think it's going to hold up. It's going to be somewhere maybe in the top 5, top 7. We're real pleased. We had a little motor problem there right before qualifying. They saw some oil on the spark plugs and thought maybe the motor was missing a little bit. So Doug Yates and all the guys on the Texaco team decided to put a motor in it. Changed the motor. Our qualifier was a little stouter than this piece, but this is awfully good. I have to hand it to them. Motor shops work awful hard. The chassis shop, all the guys in the aero shop. Todd Parrott helped us a little bit with this deal on the body. This was our backup car. We wrecked the #1 car, which we tested up here a couple of weeks ago. We destroyed it at Pocono, so we had to roll out a car that we weren't real comfortable with. So I couldn't be happier all the hours these guys put in. Gave us a good, fast car.
And an emotional moment, too, coming to Indianapolis. We are told this is the car that Kenny Irwin drove to a 15th place finish a year ago, so a lot of thoughts go out to him and his memories with this good run here in this car.
Well, this is an awfully good race car. Like I said, Kenny did an excellent job with it last year, and right here in his hometown. So hopefully we can keep this thing up front and win this thing for him.
Ricky Rudd on the provisional pole.
Well, the guy who was second quickest in practice is on the racetrack, and he is doing quite well. Not quite up to pole speed, but he's way loose coming off the corner.
And that cost him. You see right now, he'd probably fit in somewhere around 3rd or 4th. What did he do? In practice, he ran faster than Ricky Rudd. But can he bring it back? Can he do it when it counts in qualifying? No. He would be 8th best at 49.854, average speed 180.527 miles per hour. So right now, 27 cars, 4th best. 27 cars have qualified. Rich Bickle, the 61, has been bumped. The 16 car of Kevin LePage has been bumped. And when Dave Marcus qualified, I gave you an incorrect time. His speed was 175.785 miles per hour. He now is 25th on the bubble.
Well, the Jack Roush team looking on, Jack and Mark Martin, as they will be up to qualify before too much longer. They have interest in, as we all do, the 88 car driven by Dale Jarrett, who's next up to qualify. And Jarrett was 3rd quick in the practice earlier today. Jarrett hoping to become the first 3-time winner of the Brickyard 400. He won in '96, and he is the defending champion. And almost won that year that he ran out of fuel here at Indy.
Well, he had an awfully fast race car that year. There's no doubt about that.
And that was a nice line going through turn 1.
Yes, it was. I think that some of these guys right now with this wind blowing down the front stretch, I think we've been seeing some cars getting in turn 1 a little bit too hard.
Carrying a little bit more speed. The car has a tendency to get loose going into turn 1 anyway.
Oh, that number there in the box is in the minus category, so that means he is faster than his teammate Rudd.
He lost a little bit, just 100th of a second. Oh, he lost a little bit off that corner. Now he's 400ths slower than Rudd.
Let's see how it all averages out. He takes the checkered flag, and Dale Jarrett completes the run. He's never been on the pole here. Best start was 2nd in '98. Oh, he's going to go down to 4th.
He still hasn't been on the pole. 49.807, 180.697 miles per hour. So Marcus has been bumped. Now Matt Kenseth on the bubble.
And the IROC race comes up tomorrow. We'll have it for you on ABC Saturday afternoon. Eddie Cheever among those that will participate in that event. 13th quickest, 50.199 seconds, a 179.286 miles an hour, and Matt Kenseth has been bumped.
And now the 9 car, Stacy Compton, the car now on the bubble.
Jerry Punch is with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
At a lead, 49.854 seconds, and despite the fact that you said you had a handful of race car in both ends of the racetrack, not a bad lap, 5th quickest.
Yeah, we ran a lot faster than that in practice, but still, we should be really happy with that. The way the last 6 weeks have gone for us, we struggled in qualifying and in race trim, so maybe we turn things around. The Budweiser Chevrolet's driving real good, and the adjustments we're making on it are doing what we need, and that's always good to have a car that reacts right.
Push in turns 1 and 2, and then big time loose coming out of 4.
Yeah. That's the way the track is typically. It's tighter in 1 and 2 than it is 3 and 4. And I drove it probably too deep into turn 1 and made the car push there and missed that corner. Cost a little speed through the short chute there, but it got it back down the back straightaway and then got loose off of 4. But it's our first time here, my first time here. I probably made the car do those things myself. It's probably got a good comfortable setup under it. I'm just out there driving it a little over my head. So we'll come back here a couple more times, get some more experience, drive outright car a couple times, and see if we can get better.
All right, top 10 so far, though, for Dale Earnhardt Jr. as we go down to Bill Weber.
Well, Darrell Waltrip was 13th in practice. He's currently 2nd. You were 12th. So there's a spot in front of him available there.
Yeah, Bill, both Kmart cars were running really good in practice. We tested pretty good here. And I had Darrell say, we went home and worked on them. And this year, the Kmart team's been working on our cars a lot harder, and it's really been paying off for us. And we had a really good lap going, and I made a mistake in turn 4, and I'm trying to think of how not to do that when it comes time here to countdown.
All right, good luck, Jimmy.
Thanks.
Jeremy Mayfield just completed his run.
At 4th best at 49.772 seconds. Average speed 180.825 miles per hour. So Stacy Compton's been bumped. Ken Schrader is now the car on the bubble.
Here's Jerry Punch with Dale Jarrett.
DJ, the guys upstairs were talking about a great line in turn 1, a nice tight line entering a turn. All the way up to turn 3, you were underneath Ricky Rudd's time. Looked like you were going to have the pole, and I guess up in 4, you had a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, you got to make all the corners right, and that's what shows just how good a lap Ricky put up there. And things were going well, carrying a lot of speed into 4. Tried to stay out probably a little wide to really get me a good exit off of that corner to where I could really carry a lot of speed. And what it did is it never cut down to in the center, and that got me wide coming out. It made me a little bit loose there, and I just wasn't able to make the speed down the straightaway then. So that cost us a shot at it. Don't know that we would have gotten it, but we were pretty close to him. It would have been nice for us both to have been up there, but great lap by he and Darrell Waltrip both.
This car won number 2 at the Brickyard last year. Can it get number 3 on Saturday?
That's what I like about our chances. That we know what this car does. When we were here testing with race runs and things, we were very excited about the way the car just stayed. It was fast, and it stayed that way. So we know there's going to be a lot of competition here, but we like our chances.
Hey, good luck to you.
Okay, thanks, Jerry.
Defending Brickyard 400 winner Dale Jarrett currently sits 5th in the qualifying lineup.
And on the racetrack is Scott Pruitt, who has never competed in a NASCAR race here at Indy, but he was in 4 Indianapolis 500s. But he is making his first appearance here since 1995.
And I think Scott Pruitt's another driver that got down in turn 1 just a little bit too hard. Dale Earnhardt Jr. talked about it. And it looks like that this wind blowing down the front straightaway is getting these guys going down the corner a little bit faster than they're accustomed and not able to turn it as much as they'd like to.
But what he has in his favor is his crew chief is the brother of the crew chief that set that 88 car up.
Yep.
So I would imagine that 32 car's got a good setup under it.
Looks like that Scott's got a good lap here, somewhere around 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there, where it is down to 8th best.
That is a great qualifying run for Scott Pruitt in the tied car. 49.921, average speed 180.285 miles per hour. Schrader's been bumped. Now Hutch Strickland, the 90 car, is on the bubble.
And here's Bill Weber.
Well, Rusty Wallace is down here on pit road with one of the newest owners in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, talking it over with Chip Ganassi. Of course, Rusty won the last race out at Pocono. He'd like to win the next race, which is here Saturday afternoon at Indianapolis. And we'll lean in here for just a second. Who's giving advice here?
We're talking about the sun, about these clouds and all this stuff. I'm trying to get this racetrack ice cold so I can knock a good lap out right now. Hope it's listening to me.
You're an accomplished pilot. What's your forecast here for the next 10 cars?
Well, my forecast is we got about a 10-minute sucker hole right there before it gets real bright.
And you want to go before it gets real bright. How's your car?
It's great. I hope we can get to front row. It's running super right now.
And Chip, a new visitor here, but a new member of the Winston Cup fraternity.
Thanks. Good to be here, just hanging out. I was just telling Sterling, my first year here, when I qualified, the sun went behind a cloud. And the sun just went behind a cloud.
And he just rolled off on the racetrack. How's his car?
I think it's good. You know, probably could be a little better, but we're getting there.
Well, best of luck. Welcome to the NASCAR Winston Cup.
Thank you very much.
Bob?
Chip Ganassi won the Indianapolis 500 this year with Juan Montoya. There's a sky over the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and quite a bit of haze and clouds remaining in some areas, but in other areas there is sunshine. There is here on the front stretch as Sterling comes down to take the green flag. A little bit of a shadow coming off that car.
This is the team that Chip Ganassi has bought into. He and Felix Sabates now partners with Sterling Marlin and Ted Musgrave in the Bell South car.
Let's talk with Jeremy Mayfield as we go down to Jerry.
And Jeremy climbed down on the car with a huge smile on his face. Jeremy, 49.772. Were you happy about the speed or happy to get that lap over?
Well, happy to get it over with. You know, qualifying's tough for us, or has been for me. And, man, these guys done a great job with this Mobil team. This car's the same one we had at Pocono, qualified well with there and ran good. And the engine shop's got all kind of power right now. So everything's going good. And the only thing bad about right now is DW's on the pole, you know. We just want to see him get the pole, but, man, he's right up there at the top. And my best wishes for them and that whole team over there.
All right, Dean, everybody thinking about DW. Jeremy Mayfield, pretty good qualifying lap. He is currently 4th quickest.
See what Sterling Marlin does. The 36 of Kenny Schrader has been bumped. On the bubble now is Hut Strickland, and we'll see if he got bumped off. Yes, he did, because Sterling is the 16th fastest.
At 50.200, average speed 179.283 miles per hour. Now the 33 of Joe Nemechek on the bubble.
Down to Bill Weber.
And we just talked to Chip Ganassi, and Felix Sabates is here on pit road. A visit back to the track. Welcome back.
Chip who?
Huh? Chip who? Well, as long as you brought that up, I guess I brought it up. But what exactly is the situation there for the fans, Felix?
Well, we're going to have a major announcement tomorrow night at 6:30.
Well, you can tell us now.
I don't know what the announcement is. He hasn't told me. He's the boss now. You know, I have to listen to what he tells me. But we're going to have a major announcement tomorrow night, so hopefully everybody will know by 6:35 tomorrow what we're doing.
Okay, and that's going to be here, obviously, in Indianapolis. Do you foresee yourself continuing in a big role with this race team?
Oh, yeah, no question. I mean, nothing's going to change other than he's going to own the majority interest in the team, and there's going to be a name change. But other than that, you know, I'm still going to come to the racetrack. I'm still going to be involved with the race team. I'm not going anywhere. He won't let me go for 5 years anyway.
Okay. Good to see you back at the track. Good luck this week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Felix Sabates. And Dale Earnhardt is among those left to qualify, and Jerry Nadeau. We'll be right back. Joe Nemechek remains on the bubble, and on the racetrack is Dave Blaney, another candidate for the Ray Bestis Rookie of the Year honors. However, he did race here in Indianapolis last year, started 20th and finished 28th. Jerry's with another rookie, Scott Pruitt.
Well, he ran the Indy 500 4 times. That's a pretty good memory from there. But, Scott, that qualifying lap today has to be a memory in and of itself. A great effort, 49.921, top 10 right now in qualifying.
Yeah, we're real pleased. First, say hi to my family at home. We're real pleased with the tight Taurus. I gave up 2 turns. Turn 1, missed the marks. Turn 4, missed the marks. But turn 2 and turn 3, I was dead on. So we're happy with the run. It's exciting thinking that we still have more. And, you know, as I get some more races under my belt, and if I keep running this good, when you come to the shop the week before, you're going to start coming every week.
How about Brad Parrott? The chemistry really working with the new crew chief there for the Cal Wells operation.
It is. We're real pleased to have Brad on board. His intensity, his focus, he's meticulous on getting the car set up right. For us, it was just the last piece we needed to really start moving forward with the whole Tide team, and something we're just going to build from here to the next race, and I'm looking forward to the second half of the year.
Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Scott Pruitt right now 8th quickest. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Hello, Dale. How are you?
What do you think, Weber?
I think you were pretty fast this morning, but the winds come up and the sun comes out, and some of those guys have some pretty fast speeds. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the early draw was better with this constant clouds. Now we got sunshine and clouds, and the racetrack's really affected by the sun, so we'll have to see. We're going to go for it and give it all we got. That's all we can do.
That's exactly what Evernham said in the open to our show. That guy's pretty smart, isn't he?
We just, you know, got a good race car. I feel good about it. I just, I just want to go out and get a good qualifying run in, solid run. I know we run quick in practice. I like to back that up, but I don't know if that's possible in this temperature and the way it is. But I know I got to get a race car for the race, and that's what matters to me.
We'll see you Saturday.
Dale Earnhardt will be out before too much longer. Meanwhile, on the racetrack, here is the driver who is 9th in the point standings, Mark Martin.
And he was 9th best in the practice they had this morning. Although, as we've all talked about, conditions a little bit different now than they were. Got a pretty good run going right now. Our computer indicates it'll be somewhere around 6th, 7th. Lost a couple spots on that corner. Here he comes down to the line. Oh, he wouldn't brag on you, would he, Ray?
No, he doesn't think I'm smart enough, I guess. He'll tell me about that when we get down in the garage area.
All right, where did Mark go? Down to the 9th position. 49.970, 180.108 miles per hour. So Nemechek has been bumped. Jeff Burton is now on the bubble.
And in about 7 more qualifiers, we will see this man, the Intimidator, behind the number 3 GM Goodrich Chevy for his qualifying run at Indy. www.nascar.com. Not only the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, but Busch and trucks and every other division of NASCAR. NASCAR online, www.nascar.com. All right, on the racetrack right now is the driver who was 4th fastest in practice. Here's Rusty Wallace coming down to take the green flag. Doesn't look like he's going to get his cloud, Ray.
Well, it's not quite as bright as it was just a moment ago. There is a little bit of cloud cover over the sun.
I'll tell you, one of the things here that is maybe not a good thing or not a bad thing, part of the track gets cloudy, part of the track is sunny, so the corners can be very different. I think he's going to have a little bit of a cloud down in turn 3 and 4.
It's a long way back to turns 3 and 4 from turns 1 and 2. Now there's the report. He's just a little slower than it's going to take, although he moves it up to just 0.17 of a second behind the pole sitter. He comes off corner number 4 down the straightaway. Ooh, dropping back a little more.
That was 17 thousandths. There's 80 thousandths right there. Robin Pemberton, the crew chief for the Miller Lite Ford, watches on, and looks like he lost a little bit coming off that corner. Rusty will end up in the 8th position. Average speed 180.303. The seconds 49.916.
Let's go down to Jerry Punch.
And it's ended with Mark Martin, who now gets shuffled back to the 10th spot. Mark, you'd run an 87 earlier today. Considering the conditions, how things have changed, a 97, not bad at all.
Well, I caught the worst sun, I think, of anybody that's run so far. We had a nice section there where it was really bright and burning, and we weren't strong anyway, so that probably really hurt us. That probably got us a 10th of 1500ths, which would have put us up close to the top 5. That's kind of the luck of the draw, you know. It's real nice right now. The sun's behind the clouds, and would have been a better time, but we weren't a contender for the pole, so I think the Valvoline team has done a good job today. We've been real solid and going to get a good starting spot here. We think we've got a great race car.
Indeed, Mark Martin, a brand new race car. He said the car is driving awfully well, which should mean a lot for him on race day.
And the green flag drops on the number 44 Hot Wheels Pontiac, driven by Kyle Petty.
Kyle struggled in the practice this morning. He was only 44 best.
By the way, Bobby Hamilton has been bumped, and now on the bubble is Wally Dolchak as Kyle comes off corner number 2.
They've been going through some team changes over there. I believe Fred Graves is over there now, and he's starting to help the 44. I think that should help the performance of that car.
Kyle's best start here at Indy was in 96 from 13th, and that's his best finish. That came in 97. He's in the northwestern portion of the racetrack, coming down for the checkered flag.
You can see he's a second off from our pole sitter, and that's not good. That'll get him up in the high 51-second bracket. And as Bill River talked about at the very top of the show, a driver who does not have a provisional for the Brickyard 400 is Kyle Petty. There you see his speed, 50.956, 176.623 miles per hour.
So Kyle will be disappointed with that, and we'll be looking for more speed tomorrow in second round qualifying. Robbie Gordon down on pit road. Let's go to Bill Weber.
And after a couple of weeks off, Robbie Gordon returning to the Winston Cup Series. How's this car and how's your qualifying opportunity?
Well, we ran a little better when we tested here than where we're running right now, but this is a very important race for us with Menards and everybody in town. You know, this good qualifying effort would really help out the team. Taking 2 weeks off has allowed us to build inventory. We're ready for the next 4 races and really looking forward to it.
Okay, I had you 39th, I think, on the practice sheet. Will your qualifying lap hopefully be better than that?
Doesn't it have to be?
I would say it better be.
Exactly. We'll suck as much as we can out of it. You know, we haven't white-walled it or anything like that, so, you know, got to get a good lap out of it.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Hey, that's Robbie Gordon. To Jerry.
I'll get up with Rusty Wallace. Now, in Days of Thunder, Cole Trickle said loose is fast, but here in Indianapolis, loose is sideways, and that's not real fast.
Yeah, I just got too loose. Loosened it up before qualifying because it was a little too tight, and every time I kept loosening up, kept running faster and faster. If I'd have left it alone, it would have probably got to pole. It was real quick. We kept running 60s every time we went out. Right now, 70s got to pole, so live and learn, I guess.
How about on Saturday? I heard the Penske team is really poised to get one here after coming off that great win at Pocono. I know you'd love to win at Indianapolis.
We're concentrating pretty hard for this race. We really are. We got good engines, good focus, and I'd love to win this Brickyard 400. I think we got a good shot at doing it.
All right, Rusty Wallace, a little disappointed in the qualifying lap, but he should be awfully tough come Saturday.
Mike Skinner has just clocked in with the 8th best at 180.317 to 49.912 second lap. So Wally Dallenbach is bumped, and Ricky Craven is now on the bubble. The defending pole winner here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is Jeff Gordon. He looks for his 4th pole for the Brickyard in a few moments.
And he was just 35th best at 50.833 seconds, 177.050 miles per hour. So Ricky Craven remains on the bubble. Dallenbach has been bumped.
Bill Weber is standing by with a man going for 4 poles, Jeff Gordon.
And Jeff Gordon was really hoping he wasn't going to need those sunglasses out here for the next 15 or 20 minutes, weren't you?
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind wearing them in the sun or shade, but yeah, I mean, we'd like to have a cloud. You know, we struggled a little bit earlier today, and it looks like we're struggling a little bit in turn 2 and turn 4, and you know, I'm going to work real hard to try to get those turns down. And these guys made some good adjustments, so I think we're going to be a lot better than we were.
Okay, I think you were 31st on the practice sheet. Can you elaborate on what the car is doing or not doing for you?
It won't go through turn 2 or turn 4. And those are the worst places on a track like this because it leads up to a real long straightaway. So if you don't get off those 2 turns, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble down the straightaways also. But you know, we're going to work on those areas, and the car feels pretty good, just not going real fast. So we'll find out why. We tested good with this car. It's very similar to what we had in Pocono, and there's no reason why Snoopy shouldn't be able to help us out a little bit.
Good luck to both of you.
Thanks.
That's Jeff Gordon, and here's Jerry again.
All right, Mike Skinner, 49.912. Mike, slower than you would have liked to run, but taking a look at the front of the car, I think you're lucky to get that.
Yeah, I'll tell you, after I got out of the car and looked at that, Jerry, I was pretty pleased with the lap. We thought we could run in the high 50s or low 60s with a low Chevy, and when I come across the line, I didn't hear Larry. Usually if we sat on the pole, he tells me I did great or something, and I didn't hear anything. He says, I don't know what the lap was, but you're late. I'm like, wow. And he said 49.90 something. I said, I couldn't understand why it runs so slow because the car felt good. I lost a little bit in 3, I felt like, but other than that, the car, I hit my marks, and the car was real good. The engine run real good in the low Chevrolet, but I guess that fender there, when we got on the brakes, getting down in this corner right here, it happened earlier, but just bent it a little bit. But it killed it this time. It hurt the aerodynamics quite a bit.
Could you feel it hit when you hit the brakes out in turn 1? You feel the fender hit and actually buckle in front of the air dam as you were going in between turns 1 and 2?
Yeah, I felt it hit, but I didn't think it was near that bad. You know, you're just really trying to focus on hitting your marks and getting back to the gas as quick as you can. And I just blocked it out and did the best I could. And it kind of explains what happened right there.
All right, Mike Skinner, fairly lucky to get that qualifying lap in. Right now, he is 8th quickest.
And next up to qualify for the Brickyard 400 is Jerry Nadeau. He has turned in a 51.219 on the racetrack. Is Dale Earnhardt taking the green flag? Nadeau was 22nd quickest at 179.215, and so that bumps Ricky Craven, and Elliott Sadler is on the bubble, and Dale Earnhardt was fastest in practice.
I think he lost some time down in turn 1. I think just like all these guys appeared like he might have gotten in the corner. Yes, we can see just 8th or 9th best. Got in the corner just a little bit too hard.
You should tell him, Bay. Maybe he'll think you're smart.
Oh, yeah. I don't think. Oh, Dale getting really close to that wall. But it's helped a little bit as he moves up to about the 9th or 10th spot.
Well, they'd rather use up all that racetrack than get out of the gas pedal. As long as the straightaways are here, you need to be wide open coming off those corners.
Well, there's a checker. Let's see how Dale Earnhardt did. Probably not a pole run, but where did he fall into the lineup? He goes down to the 8th best.
At 180.393 miles per hour. 49.891 seconds. Good lap run on.
Ricky Rudd and Darrell Waltrip currently occupy the front row for the Brickyard 400. The 7th running of the Brickyard 400 from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You can see it on ABC Sports. Here is what we have accomplished so far in Bud Pole qualifying, with a few more remaining. Ricky Rudd and Darrell Waltrip currently occupy the front row for Saturday's event. Rudd, the only driver above 181 miles an hour. These top 25, the way it stands right now, and of course the top 25 when we're done, are locked into their positions.
And all these guys will have to either stand on this time or come back and requalify tomorrow. You see Davey Keith there in 33rd to just complete his qualifying run at 178.292 miles per hour.
Jerry Punch is with Dale Earnhardt.
Well, Dale, 49.891 seconds. Not what you had hoped to run, but the car looked like it moved up across the racetrack entering 1 down there. Were you having a little bit of a problem?
Yeah, it was a little on the tight side. I got in the corner hot like I did in practice, and when the car didn't turn, I knew it wasn't going to be in it, and it was a little tight off of 2, a little tight off of 3 and 4. So it was just luck of the draw today. We had a great race car, good shot at it, but just a little tight off. Feel sorry for him in the race. Got a good race car.
All right, he's smiling, and when he smiles that wide and thinks about what's going to happen on Saturday, we could be seeing a third two-time Brickyard 400 winner. He won it here in '95.
Robbie Gordon will be the next to qualify.
As he says, as he told Bill Weber, well, there he's almost put the white wall on there, but as he told Bill Weber, he needed to get better. He was just 39th best in the practice, and we can see that he's 3/4 of a second slower than the pole speed. That might be a little bit faster than he practiced. He goes down to 37th best, so Robbie Gordon very definitely will have to come back and try to find some speed tomorrow to make this Brickyard 400.
Robbie Gordon's only Brickyard 400 start was in '97. He does have 6 Indy 500 starts here at the Brickyard. Let's go down to Bill Weber.
And just a quick word from Jeffrey Bodine, 26th on the practice sheet. You'd take 25th or better right now, wouldn't you?
I'd probably take 26th, but yeah, with the sun coming out, normally a late draw is pretty good, but today it might work against us. But, our car's been running good. We made a little adjustment prior to coming out here, so hopefully it's the right adjustment, and we'll go out here and turn a good lap.
Okay, good luck to Jeffrey Bodine. Again, one of the guys that does not have a provisional, needs to get in on speed.
Well, from Robbie Gordon, we go to the familiar DuPont colors of Jeff Gordon, but not for the Brickyard 400. A special Peanuts themed DuPont paint scheme is paying tribute to Charles Schultz, one of America's best-known cartoonists. Jeff Gordon has won the pole 3 times here at Indy in '95, '96, and last year.
As a matter of fact, I think they're celebrating 50 years with Snoopy or something. I think
yes,
Schultz painted that cartoon for 50 years.
Yep. And speaking of years, Jeff Gordon is celebrating his 29th birthday tomorrow. Well, see how he fares here on his qualifying lap. Currently, the Todd Bodine qualified number 5 car is on the bubble. The checkered flag is coming out, and the computer BP may not even get him to top 25 here.
No, it's right at 25th. Let's see. As Jeff Gord's qualifying run goes down, will it stop in time? No. He goes back to 27th at 50.351, 178.745 miles per hour.
Just a few more cars to qualify now. 3 more. We've got the number 27 car driven by Mike Bliss on the racetrack at the moment, as he tries to make his first Brickyard 400. Driver from Milwaukee, Oregon, who ran open wheel cars here in the Indianapolis area for many years before heading to NASCAR land.
Spent a few years in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Some races there. Drove for Jimmy Smith and won some races. The truck that Mike Wallace drives now. Also drove for Jack Roush for a season in the Excite truck.
They must be running these cars extremely soft, both front and rear, because this is a very, very smooth place. Yet we see the tailpipe spark once in a while, and so they're sensing just about every little bump on the racetrack.
The spring combinations, some of these guys are talking about, Ray, you well know, are just unbelievable how soft they are running these cars. You can see the front bumper. Normally that thing would be 3 or 4 inches off the ground as the car goes down the straightaway. They're running the springs so soft, the wind pushes the car down and keeps that front bumper down close to the ground so no air goes under the car.
And the lower you get the car, the more aerodynamic horsepower you have available, so it helps the straightaway speeds. The car's probably 2 or 3 inches lower at the roof on the racetrack than it is rolling through inspection. You can see that the tailpipes on that car are just about dragging the ground. They're right in front of the left rear wheel.
Checkered flag drops for Mike Bliss. And did he get into the top 25?
The computer says that he should end up about 30th. We'll see how close that will be.
Just a little under 30th.
Boom, he goes down to the 32nd best. 50.441, 178.426 miles per hour.
We're running short of qualifiers at Indianapolis. The Bud Pole for the Brickyard 400 on Saturday in the top 25 qualifiers. Well, the 01 car, the Bell South machine, driven by Ted Musgrave. Now watch him come off corner number 4. Watch the steering wheel. Look at him.
Oh, he's steering that thing for all he's worth because there's a real hard fence right off turn 4. And that hurt his qualifying run because he ended up 35th best at 50.458. Average speed was 178.366 miles per hour.
Well, both of the remaining qualifiers come from the Bodine family. As Ted Musgrave pulls into the pit area, Jeffrey Bodine, power team Chevy on the track and spins, coming off the 4th corner.
Coming down for the green flag, and he never touched anything, I don't think.
I believe he hit on the left side there.
I guess he did.
On the left front.
Yeah, the left front. I see some smoke. Looks like the tire might be. Wow.
And as I said, you know, between 3 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, this place is not very nice to race around.
Jeffrey Bodine looking for his 6th start in a Brickyard 400. Will take the car right back into Gasoline Alley after spinning and hitting the wall coming off corner number 4.
Ray, I guess as the racetrack, let's see if we can see Jeffrey come off the corner, and it just about the time he turned the wheel, and there's that left front, as Ray talked about, slapping the wall. Ray, when this racetrack gets warm, it really does loosen up, doesn't it?
It really does, Benny. This is a strange place, and about 4 to 4:30, it'll start the speed will pick back up. I don't know if it's the angle on the sun in certain corners, but you can go from being tight early in the day at turn 4 especially to being extremely loose over there. Now the last couple cars that we've seen have been extremely loose.
Well, another setback for Jeffrey Bodine. He is among those who does not have a provisional and therefore must get into the race on speed. And certainly the effort there coming off of corner number 4 does not help that situation at all. More on the Bodines from Bill.
Well, Brett Bodine was supposed to be the 4th car to go out and qualify. His car was pushed to the grid just a few moments ago. Damage still showing on the right-hand side from where he brushed the wall, or actually hit the wall, because with Indianapolis, you don't brush anything. He knocked in the right side of that car. They worked up until about 7 or 8 minutes ago, got the car through inspection. I had a brief conversation with Mike Hillman, his crew chief. He said the car is straight, but it's going to be very difficult for Brett to get a great lap here. They'd love to have a top 25, but he was 42nd in practice. We'll see what happens. Brett Bodine, the final qualifier today. Let's go to Jerry.
Well, this guy basically owned this place. 3 poles, 2 wins, led almost 29% of the laps that you've run here over the years. But today, Jeff Gordon, it wasn't to be the lap better than you've run all day. 50.351, but not what you had hoped to have.
Yeah, I mean, that's better than we tested here. You know, a lot of guys have really picked up quite a bit of speed, but I don't know. You know, the track felt good this morning, the car felt good this morning, but the speed just wasn't there, and I'm not exactly sure. We looked at some segment times, and I just wasn't getting off of turn 2 very good. And I know I'm not getting through turn 4 very good. I'm just real loose through there, and, you know, it just seems like to get my car good everywhere else, I've got to be a little bit looser, which has been typical in the past here. Just doesn't seem to be working for us quite the way it has, you know, in past runs. But we're going to get it. You know, we're not where we want to be on the qualifying sheet, but I'm hoping with the way this car's reacting that it's going to be really good in traffic.
As your former crew chief, I want to go sit upstairs. This place very, very fickle. This time of the afternoon, very tough. The track gets very, very loose.
Oh yeah, this track is very dependent on you know, what the sun and what the clouds are doing. And when this track cools down, it gets very fast. So, you know, I drew a real late number today, and you know, sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. But looks like some of the guys that went out early definitely you know, had the weather in their favor. But we still should be a lot closer up to the top than what we are. You know, there's some other Chevrolets up there, and we should be up there. And we ran so well at Pocono, we really thought that you know, that combination would work well here, and it just hasn't so far.
Good luck on Saturday.
All right, thanks.
Jeff Gordon, 2-time winner of the Brickyard 400. Not happy at all with his qualifying effort, but they hope to be able to work on it and get much more speed before Saturday.
Well, Brett Bodine needs more speed, too. He's a 51, 159, a 175.922, 44th fastest overall. Ricky Rudd has won the pole for the 7th Brickyard 400 Saturday at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. His 2nd pole of the year 2000. The other one was at Las Vegas. It's his first pole here at Indy. In fact, his first top 5 qualifying effort. His 26th career pole, and the 5th pole for Robert Yates in the year 2000. So we will be back to wrap things up as Bud Pole qualifying is over at Indianapolis. Stay with us. We'll be back. Blimp is hovering above with its camera focused on an event. You know, you're going to get a unique view. Overhead today is the Blimp Spirit of Goodyear, based near Akron, Ohio, the world headquarters for the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Bud Pole qualifying is over. Ricky Rudd was the lucky one. An unfortunate one was Jeffrey Bodine spinning and hitting the wall coming off turn number 4. Here's Bill.
And Jeffrey Bodine is back down here in the garage, and they're looking at the left front. First of all, Jeffrey, what happened?
Just lost it coming off turn 4. I got pretty slippery out there, and we'd made some adjustments to the car, and I guess we were just a little too loose coming off that corner and got sideways, and you don't expect to spin out on your warm-up lap, but I did.
Obviously, you did a great job keeping the car from being totally demolished, but you do have some front-end damage.
Yeah, unfortunately, it went around and hit the left front, and so we're going to change some A-frames and bang the fender out. Kind of like we used to do on the short tracks, just bang them out and keep going. But we don't think it hurt the car really bad, so that's good luck, because this is a good car for us. And, you know, we don't have a provisional, and we're trying to stand on the gas so we get in this show, and I guess sometimes these things happen.
It has certainly been a challenging season for you, to say the least. Do you feel the pressure coming here, Jeffrey, with no provisional to make a big race?
No, I didn't. I really didn't feel any pressure. We had a really good test up here, and really confident. Kind of like DW had said, he was confident coming here. We were too, that we were going to run well, and we'd run pretty good in practice. So, you know, going out there, I didn't feel like any extra pressure on me, and but it surprised me coming out that corner. The car just came around, and I wish I hadn't done that, but it did.
Very important lap for you tomorrow. Best of luck on Friday.
Thanks.
Bob?
Well, Jeffrey did not complete the lap, but 48 cars did complete their qualifying runs here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for Saturday's Brickyard 400. Let's take a look at the results. As we told you, Ricky Rudd has his second pole of the year 2000. Darrell Waltrip has his first top 5 starts since 1997 here at Indy. Fourth.
Seat 16 through 30 this afternoon. Ward Burton will lead that group. 25th, Todd Bodine in the 5 car was the last qualifier. From 26th on back, these cars will either have to stand on this time or requalify in tomorrow's qualifying. Ray, what do you think? Where do you think these guys are going to stand back into? I guess it depends on the weather, doesn't it?
It really does, Benny. Tomorrow, what the racetrack, how fast the racetrack is, these guys are going to have to decide on. But I would say that if you're in the top 30 right now, you should be safe.
Well, Rudd broke the track record. As a matter of fact, 14 broke the previous track record of 179.6. We'll talk with Ricky Rudd when we come back. Qualifying concluded, and the man of the day is Ricky Rudd, and Jerry Punch is with him.
Well, he's down here making the hat switch, getting all the hats put on, the Texaco hat, the Budweiser hat, the Bud Pole Award winner for the 7th annual Brickyard 400. And Ricky, outstanding effort. Congratulations on your second pole of the year.
Thank you, Jerry. I tell you, I owe it all these guys at Yates Racing, Michael Swain, the engine shop at Yates, and all the guys on the 88 crew, Todd Parrott, those guys. This car was not planned to run here. The car that we were planning to run here got destroyed last week at Pocono, and Michael and Todd Parrott, all these guys got together and they talked about it, and hey, let's bring the backup car, but we need to go to work on it and do a little cutting and sawing here and there, and a little work on the chassis. So really, I just got to thank all of Yates Racing all together for this pole today.
And a backup engine. I'm told you made an engine change right before qualifying. Doug Yates made a call. He was a little concerned, and still with a backup car and a backup engine, this team, it paid off.
Well, it really did. This wasn't the number one choice on the qualifying motor. The good motor had a little oil in one of the spark plugs. Doug kept watching it each practice session, and it got worse and worse. He got afraid of it. He thought the thing might try to come apart when I was qualifying, so elected to put the backup qualifying motor in there, which was a little bit of horsepower short of the primary, but it still did its job. Even a Yates motor, a couple of horsepower off, is still a lot better than a lot of these guys.
Ricky Rudd, congratulations. Go celebrate.
Thank you very much, Jerry.
Ricky Rudd, they were hoping to break the 180-mile-per-hour barrier. He broke the 181-mile-per-hour barrier with a new track record at Indianapolis. He is the pole sitter for the Brickyard 400. And how about the outside front row? Bill Weber?
Well, a very jovial atmosphere back here in the Kmart garage. Darrell Waltrip was going to talk to us, but he's too busy shaking hands. Oh, no. He cleared a path for us. That's it. Outstanding. You're starting outside the front row at Indy.
What did I tell you before I rolled off? I said, you know, the way these guys are going, I could end up on the pole. So,
and they said the way you're going, you could end up on the pole.
I had a good car, and I got most everything out of it. I'd like to go back and see if I could find that 400s that Ricky had that I didn't, but I can't complain. Man, I'm so happy to be up front, and the guys are going to give me a car that, you know, we start up front a few times this year, not often, but we're going to stay there this time. They're going to give me a good car. They're going to work on it real hard for me. And, man, this is so much fun. Stevie and I just standing there and said, you know, this is the way it used to be. God, no wonder we used to.
I remember that.
Yeah, no wonder we used to think racing was so much fun, because this is really fun. And then the people up here, Bill, they just bring the best out in me. I know the people up here give you so much support. Come by and tell you you're going to be in the top 10. Man, I ain't been in the top 10 all year. Come by and tell you you're going to win a pole. I ain't won a pole since 95. What's these people thinking? But they believe that, and you don't want to let them down. And so it was a big deal for all of us.
And then I think I heard you say you could win this thing on Saturday. So, no, like you said, you don't want to let them down.
Well, I honestly believe I can. I like this racetrack, and this car right here runs really good around this joint. And I just got a good feeling about Saturday. Took only 400 miles. I believe I can hold my breath that long. So I look forward to it. I think we're going to have a great race, and I think when the day's over with, people are going to leave here. All I've said all year long or any time is just leave here saying, man, old DW looked like he was having fun, and looked like he could have won the race if things had worked out a little differently for him. That would make me very proud.
Best of luck.
Thanks, Bill.
Darrell Waltrip. It'll be a big night in Owensboro this evening.
In his early days, he used to race a lot in the northern Kentucky and southern Indiana area. In his victory tour season, he comes to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and will start on the outside to the front row.
Exactly, Bob. Congratulations to Ricky Rudd and Darrell Waltrip, a couple of fast Fords on the front row. Now, the Ford fans are pretty excited about that, but you GM fans, take heart. I got to believe that the car behind me, which qualified third, a brand-new Pontiac Grand Prix for Bobby Labonte, is going to be a major factor come Saturday. Remember, Bobby Labonte has finished second 2 of the last 3 years here. And how about the guy sitting right over here to my left? The guy who won here in 1995, didn't have a good qualifying lap, but he was the fastest car on the racetrack all day long. Dale Earnhardt could be a third two-time winner come Saturday. Bill Weber?
Well, Jerry, 25 teams will sleep very well tonight. Their spots solidified in the Brickyard 400 on Sunday. But still a number of teams with a lot of questions that will have to be answered, and they will have to answer them in one lap. Jeffrey Bodine out of provisionals. Wrecked coming to take the green. Will have to make the field on speed tomorrow. And same story for Kyle Petty. And, of course, his season on and off the track, well documented. Out of provisionals, has to make the field on speed. Teams with big decisions and then one big lap to run here on Friday. It's an emotional day at Indianapolis the day before the Brickyard 400. For some of these guys, it'll be a very emotional night.
And we'll be here with second round qualifying for the Brickyard 400 7th edition. Second round qualifying on ESPN2 at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. RPM tonight is 7 o'clock tomorrow night, and happy hour at 7:30. Saturday, the big day. RPM today, NASCAR today, special 1 hour edition noon on ESPN. The Brickyard 400s on ABC at 1, and the IROC races at 4:30. There's racing tonight at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Power Stroke 200 for the trucks, and tomorrow night, the Busch Race. You keep it here for all of the auto racing action. After a break, ESPN News. Thanks for joining us here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Rudd has won the pole. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Part of Go Network, go.com.
Is as much emotion as it is history and tradition. A trophy on the mantle is just a small reminder of the thrill of winning here. Yesterday, Darrell Waltrip, in his final year of racing, broke the emotional track record and for a while was elevated to the pole position. But a former winner of the Brickyard 400, Ricky Rudd, displaced the 53-year-old veteran as Rudd captured his second pole of 2000. 25 are in the field. This afternoon will determine the 18 others who get the thumbs up and a spot in this year's Brickyard 400 starting lineup. Live from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, preparations for tomorrow's Brickyard 400 continue. Today we have second round qualifying. Will determine the lineup for tomorrow's event. Jerry Punch?
And Bob, rarely has a car that qualified solidly in first round qualifying had an impact on those that'll get it in round number 2, but that is the case today. Yesterday, Jeremy Mayfield qualified fourth in his primary Ford Taurus, but about an hour ago, he became a victim in Indianapolis. Entering turn 3, the car 97 of Chad Little erupted an engine. Rusty Wallace comes skating through and saves his car, but Mayfield wasn't so lucky. He slammed the outside wall with the driver's side of his primary car. Mayfield was taken from the car to the infield care center and transported from there to Methodist Hospital downtown. Now, Michael Kranipus was called just a moment ago and said there are no broken bones. They're going to do a CAT scan, and as to whether Jeremy will drive later today in happy hour or on Saturday in the Brickyard 400, we'll update you at our 7:30 p.m. happy hour coverage later tonight. Now the racetrack. That incident occurred with just a couple of minutes remaining in practice. There has been no practice, no race cars on the track up in turn 3 where all that oil and speedy drive took place. And 11 cars, you have to go diving into that spot wide open in just a moment in hopes of qualifying for the Brickyard 400. With the fate of those 11 who are attempting to qualify, let's go out to pit road and Bill Weber.
Well, Jerry, 5 of the regular weekly Winston Cup competitors came here to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway knowing there was only one ticket to get into the Brickyard 400. That was on their qualifying time because all 5 are out of provisionals. On Thursday, only one team made it, Darrell Waltrip. Today, 4 other teams face a put-up or pack-up situation. Mike Bliss was 32nd after first round. He will stand on his time. Hutch Strickland, 34th. He will stand on his. Kyle Petty's car is also back in the field, 43rd after the first round. Steve Grissom will attempt to get that car into the field. But yesterday afternoon, in the first round of qualifying, Jeffrey Bodine was coming through turn 4 to get the green flag to make his one lap in first round, when the car slid out from underneath him, spun, and the right front, check that, the left front, hit the wall. Now Jeffrey Bodine will be the first car to go out in second round qualifying. He sits here on the grid, focused, ready to go. Very critical lap for you, Jeffrey.
Yeah, sure is. I mean, they're all critical when it comes to qualifying, but yeah, you know, no provisionals. So when you go out to qualify, a lot of pressure on the whole team. Yesterday didn't work out for us, but today the car ran really, really fast, and you know, we're hoping we can do it again here. Only need one more good lap. I think I have it.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Jeffrey Bodine waiting to lead this field in second round qualifying for the Brickyard 400. Now let's go upstairs to Bob Jenkins, Benny Parsons, and Ray Evernham.
We can't overemphasize the importance of making this race. It is very prestigious. It carries a lot of money, but a lot of drivers are facing a major challenge here today, Benny.
It just seems like every time we go to a racetrack, that second day, that second round of qualifying, the racetrack always seems to slow down, and that's the same situation the teams faced this morning, trying to find some speed on a very slow racetrack. Ray Evernham, why is it the second day the racetrack is so much slower?
Well, Benny, we just got to see an example of that. We have practice, and in practice, cars drop oil, they blow engines, they crash. All that stuff makes the racetrack slicker. When it gets slicker, it gets slower.
And the sun is out today here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Yesterday it was partly cloudy, and although it still is today, we do have a lot more sun than yesterday. Now let's take a look at the top 25 qualifiers from yesterday. These are the ones that were locked in as a result of their effort yesterday, with Rudd on the pole and the popular Darrell Waltrip alongside. Taking a look at 16 through 25, you see there that the number 5 car, which was qualified by Todd Bodine, is the last one to make it on speed. Terry will start the race in that car. Now let's take a look at the drivers who qualified yesterday and will be standing on their time.
See, 26, Elliott Sadler. All these guys with the yellow check marks on the right side tells you they will be standing on their time. All the cars that qualified back to 35th, Ted Musgrave was 35th. David Keith qualified 36th yesterday. He was the first car that will requalify. Chad Little, Kevin LePage, all these guys have provisionals. They're going to use these to get in the Brickyard 400.
And now we'll review those who will qualify here in second round. Jeffrey Bodine will lead the contingent in just a few moments. Robbie Gordon will be the second to qualify, and among those not also in the field, well, Ken Schrader, a veteran of NASCAR Winston Cup racing, and rookie Matt Kenseth. Back for second round qualifying in a moment. He gets the green flag and begins his 2.5-mile qualifying run here in second round. Yesterday he crashed. He is out of provisionals. This has to get him into the field.
And this morning in the practice session, he ran fast enough to get in the field. But right now it's warmer. The sun is out. This morning, once again, overcast. It's an uphill struggle. Jerry Punch.
And last night, Jeffrey Bodine sat and spoke with his younger brother, Brett Bodine, who was 44th fastest yesterday. Brett Bodine didn't find speed this morning, but he has a provisional starting spot. In fact, if no one makes it to the field today, Brett Bodine will be the last one to get in by a provisional. He's 37th in owner's points. However, if Jeffrey Bodine gets in, his brother Brett Bodine could possibly go home.
Wow. Well, let's see what Jeffrey does now. On the scoring pylon there, the yellow indicates drivers who have stood on their time. How did Jeffrey Bodine do? He did fine. The 26th fastest.
He jumped all the way to the 26th time with 50.269, 179.037 miles per hour.
So Bodine gets it done. He had to make that one lap count, and he did. He's solidly in tomorrow's Brickyard field.
to expand.
Here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Robbie Gordon is using every inch of racetrack, as they say, to get into the Brickyard field. Here's the checkered flag. He white-walled over in corner number 2. He did so coming out of 4. Let's see if he was fast enough to get into the field, and he will not.
39th best. And he slowed down 1 second from this morning's practice. 51, 141, 175.984. Coming off turn 2. He goes up and just, I think, touched the wall enough.
There it is.
There it is.
Yep.
There we see the black mark where the tire rubbed the wall, and I think that had to really make him apprehensive about going in the corner, wouldn't you, Ray?
Yeah, and there's a couple of things it does, Benny. If it pushes the body in on that car, we know how sensitive these cars are aerodynamically, especially in the right front fender area. It could push that in 1/4 of an inch and slow that car down enough through the corner to make him miss the field.
Bill Weber's with Kenny Schrader.
And 37th after first round, but you're going to make another run at it here.
Yeah, we got the car running a little better after yesterday afternoon, and we don't really have anything to lose. We got a lot to gain, so we need to get that M&M's car up there a little farther.
It's going to be tough to pass here, so you want to get every position you can through qualifying.
Starting in front of as many of them as you can would be a lot better off.
All right, good luck.
Okay, thanks.
That's Kenny Schrader. He's waiting his turn. We go to Jerry.
And Jeffrey Bodine climbs out of the rebuilt Power Team Chevrolet. Jeffrey, 50.269 seconds, 179.037. You are 26th fastest. Great lap. Congratulations.
Yeah, it was a good lap. This team worked really hard, after yesterday's little scrape and qualifying. And, we never gave up. That's our motto. You never give up. And this team didn't today. Track is a little slippery. The 97 car blew up. That's why the 12 car got in the wall. And I hope Jeremy's okay. I'm praying for him. But we made it through there. It was a little slippery, a nail biter, but I made it.
Got to have some mixed emotions. You talked to younger brother Brett last night and know that he is on the ragged edge. He has a provisional if no one got in the field. You're now in the field, and so possibly that could send him home. That's got to be tough.
Well, it really is. I mean, he's my brother. I love him, and I always will, always have. And we talked about it last night, and they knew what could happen, and they really expected us to run good yesterday, and we didn't. But, it's racing. Mom, I'm sorry. I hope Brett gets in. I hope he gets out here and runs a good lap. He was struggling a little this morning, but he could still go out there and run a good lap. But this racing business, it gets tough. It gets tough on us individually, and then as a family, it can be murder, and today's just a hard day for us.
Now go cheer for your brother.
I'm going to. Thanks.
All right. Bill Weber is standing by with him. Bill?
And, Brett, this is a very difficult time for you right now, isn't it?
Oh, it really is. I'm real happy for Jeff. He got a heck of a lap in there, and, it shows there's some speed in the racetrack. It's just if you can catch a cloud and if you got the right setup under the car. We struggled this morning. I really only got a couple good laps in. We had the car so evil I couldn't even make laps. So, this is it. Just lay it all on the line right now.
Obviously, they're all important, but this is one you dearly want to make.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I missed this show last year, and that was a terrible feeling, and here we are right back in the same position again. Hopefully we have different results here in second round than last year.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Brett Bodine, about 4 or 5 cars away from making a very critical lap.
Now, the number up there in the white box is compared to the 36th qualifier. So he, speaking of Steve Grissom, who is qualifying the car for Kyle Petty, apparently is not going to make it either.
No, we can see just 41st best. His speed was 51.517. The average speed is times 174.700 miles per hour.
Kyle Petty is qualifying for the Busch race at IRP here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. More qualifying in a moment. 5 car driven by David Keith. He was the 36th fastest qualifier yesterday at 178.292, but of course he has no provisionals and is trying to get into his first start for the year 2000, so David has an uphill battle ahead of him. He's coming down for the checkered flag. We'll know in a moment how he's doing, but the indication up there in the white box is that he's considerably slower than it's going to take to get into the field.
Yes, he's a third of a second slower than he needed to be to beat, and we see him going down to 37th best. He was close, but no cigar. His time, 50.539, average speed 178.080 miles per hour. About the same thing he ran yesterday.
Down to Jerry Punch.
Well, he was hoping for lucky number 13, but it's unlucky number 13. That's the right side of the Menards Ford that came into contact with the wall in turn 2 as well as turn 4 for Robbie Gordon. And Robbie, I know you got to be heartbroken. You guys have found some speed this morning and look to have a good shot at getting in the field.
Yeah, just kind of my luck. You know, the clouds were out. They go away when we go to run. But when it was cool this morning, we were pretty good. We had some grip, and the car just lost grip. Did a 4-wheel slide in both corners. We tried as hard as we could. Feel sorry for everybody on the race team. They've done an excellent job getting prepared for here, and we have to go back and regroup for Watkins Glen.
You talked about taking some time off to get ready to come to Indianapolis, where you've had quite a bit of success and came within a lap of winning the Indy 500 2 years ago. What do you do now? I mean, do you go back and say we're gonna get ready for the road course, where you know you guys should have a good car and be able to run it easily in the top 5 or 10?
Well, I think we do have a good road race car. Actually, the road race car is already prepared and ready. You know, it's tough. I mean, it's tough to not make the field here at Indianapolis, especially when we run so well in Indy cars. But it is a lot different driving a NASCAR than an Indy car around here.
Hey, good luck to you next week.
All right, thanks.
Robbie Gordon able to walk away with hold his head up. They knew they gave it an effort. Very proud of this crew. Let's go down to Bill Weber, who's standing by with our leading Rookie of the Year contender.
And Matt Kenseth and Robbie Reiser are here. You're waiting your shot. Obviously, you're looking to improve your position as well.
Yeah, I mean, this morning we really didn't practice qualifying runs at all. We just worked on our race setup, and I was pretty happy with the go-out car today. It was a lot better than yesterday. So we basically took a shot in the dark and just put what we thought would be a good qualifying setup in here, and you know, put four new tires on it, and just gonna go take a shot at it. We really don't have anything to lose, and we at least got to put forth some effort and try to improve our position if we can.
What happened on your lap yesterday?
Just weren't very good yesterday. We just couldn't get the car to drive the way we needed it to. I was really struggling down in the turn 1 and 2 end of the track, and could never get the car to really turn right. So this morning or last night they rebuilt pretty much a whole car, and we really didn't find anything wrong, but it was like a new car this morning. It was acting more like a race car should act, and that gives me a little hope that hopefully it'll be better in qualifying for him.
All right, good luck today and tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Bill.
Bill Baird did not make it, 43rd fastest. Ran a 52.319, a 172.022. So the ARCA champion from last year fails to make the field for the Brickyard 400. We'll be right back. Round qualifying is continuing. This is Rich Bickle, who just took the checkered flag, but he did not make it. 39th fastest, a 50.661, 177.651 miles an hour. Jerry Punch standing by with Steve Grissom.
Well, fresh from an 11th place run last night at IRP in the Petty-owned Dodge NASCAR Craftsman truck. He gets in the Winston Cup car today, Steve, and didn't have a lot of time in the car, and apparently it wasn't quite enough. He didn't make it.
No, we didn't get that many laps, but unfortunately, when we qualified, we bottomed out getting into turn 1 here. Kind of messed our lap up there on the start, but these guys have worked hard and all, and you know, it's a tough deal, but you know, we'll take it and learn from it and move on.
We might mention that Kyle had gone out to IRP to prepare and qualify the Sprint Chevrolet. He'll be driving for the rest of the year in the Busch Series, which you'll be able to see on ESPN tonight. And you began full-time in the Winston Cup car with...
Yeah, starting at Darlington, so we got a lot to look forward to. And, you know, again, I mean, Kyle and them, I'm sure they're going to be good out at IRP tonight, and I hope they win that thing. And, you know, with that, we got a couple of tests coming up, and we'll be ready for Darlington Labor Day weekend.
Good luck to you in the future.
All right, man, thanks. Appreciate it.
Steve Grissom, former Busch Series champion, coming full-time to Winston Cup, starting with the Southern 500.
On the racetrack is Stacy Compton, who was 39th quick yesterday, 177.729 miles an hour. Stacy, a rookie this year in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. His car owner, Mark Melling, is not here this weekend. He's attending a wedding, his own, in Michigan.
He's getting married. Stacy Compton sounded like he shifted gears over in turn 2 a moment ago. Maybe I misheard. Oh, he got the car a little bit loose as he came off the corner. Goes down to the line. We see he's a half second too slow. That would be the computer's thinking 42nd best. No, he comes up 40th best. His time 50.819, average speed 177.099 miles per hour.
Jerry Punch is with David Keith.
26-year-old from Owensboro, Kentucky at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And David, you're always going to remember your first visit here because you came so very, very close, 50.539 seconds.
I know it's disappointing, but we can't hang our heads. These guys done a great job getting this car here, and I mean, if you can get in this field, you're with the best. So for us to come here and get as close as we did, we were in today. I mean, we were in yesterday, 36, but we knew Jeff and a couple other guys were going to go quick. So it was either sit and watch them beat us or take a shot back, you know, and we give it our all, and that's all we had. You know, we ran about the same speed yesterday and just barely missed it. And, man, I tell you, this is exciting. I tell you, I want to do this again. And we're going to go to Michigan in 2 weeks and try to do the Cup race up there. And got to thank the Visual Bible and Shoney's Inn for coming on board, giving us the money to come up here and do this. And my guys, I just can't say enough about them. They've done a great job, you know. I mean, we run 5 ARC races this year and then come here and try to do one of the biggest races of the year and get this close, you know. It's disappointing, but yet, you know, we were respectable and we can hang our heads high.
Remember the name, David Keith. He will be back.
Nice-spoken young man. Ken Schrader has been a first-round qualifier in all previous 6 Brickyard 400s, but not today. He was 37th yesterday at 178.151. And he wiggles a little bit coming off the 3rd corner.
Certainly did. Comes off turn 4 down to the line. Once again, looks like the car's a little bit loose. And we can see he's 1/3 of a second too slow to beat Ted Musgrave's time in 36th position.
And the official reading is he is 39th best.
Schrader's time 50.655, 177.672 miles per hour. So Ted Musgrave still hangs on to that 36th position.
And, of course, although Schrader doesn't make it in on his qualifying time and speed, he will have a provisional, and those will be sorted out after we're finished here in just a few moments. So Ken Schrader heads for the pit area while Brett Bodine comes onto the racetrack. And right now, at least here on the main straightaway, he's got a cloud cover.
Yes, he does. Looks like there might be some sun over in turn 2.
He needs some sun over in turn 4. 3 and 4 seems to be where it's been the slickest. If he could catch a little bit of cloud down there and help with the grip, it'd help him a bunch.
Brett Bodine yesterday was 44th quickest, 175.922. He told us during his interview that he failed to qualify for this race last year, so certainly wants to get in this year. Ralph's Supermarket has re-upped for the year 2001. We'll be back as the sponsor for the Brett Bodine effort.
So far, so good. Goes to turn 2. Oh, looky here. Right now, he appears to be right up with his brother, Jeffrey.
As long as that number stays in the minus category, if they're in the white box, Brett is okay, and he's even faster.
Yes, he's quicker. Good lap going for Brett Bodine.
All he needs to do is bring out the corner and guide her down the straightaway. He's going to be in good shape. It looks like he crosses the line, takes the checkered flag, and Brett Bodine, it appears, will be in solidly. We'll wait for the final report. Yes, indeed, he's even faster than his brother.
Wow. And look at this speed, folks. 49.704. Average speed 181.072. That's a new track record.
How about that? He's faster than Ricky Rudd. Rudd went 181.068. Brett Bodine 181.072. Congratulations, Brett. What a story has developed. A driver who has been up and down in the last few years, failed to make the Brickyard 400 here last year, and was really questioning whether he'd be able to get in this year's field. Has not only gotten in, but he has set the fastest speed overall. Now is the track record holder. He's even faster than Ricky Rudd at 181.072. Dave Marcus, BP, didn't quite get there.
No, 50.944 seconds. Average speed 176.665 miles per hour.
And wow. There is Brett Bodine, and I'm hoping he'll get a huge response from the fans.
Wow, what a lap, Brett. We talked this morning. There were long faces, even some tears from some of the crew members thinking about how hard you worked and it might go away. and it didn't. What a lap, 49.704, a new track record.
I would have never bet in a million years we could have run that fast. Mike and these guys and Ernie Elliott, they just never gave up. They just kept working and working. We tried some exotic stuff this morning to try to make it run fast, and we went back to what we run fastest here in testing. And, I just put it all on the line. I didn't leave nothing on the table, and neither did Ernie and his group, and neither did Mike and his group. And I'm just so happy for our sponsors, Ralph's and everybody. I just can't believe it, man. You want to talk about a load off. What pressure at Indianapolis?
We were talking earlier with your brother Jeffrey Bodine. Said you guys talked last night, and he was so concerned because if he got in the field, you had the last provisional, you could possibly go home, and that was going to kill him. He gets in the field the first car out and says, oh, my gosh, man, I got to go pull for little brother Brett to get in the field. So let's check in with Jeffrey. Hang on a second, Brett.
He's been chasing you. Where are you going?
See my brother.
Yeah?
Hey, he did pretty good, didn't he?
Yeah, he got you out of some hot water with your mom, too, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
He's up there in that crowd. Go get him.
Okay, thanks.
Jerry?
Second round qualifying. I just cannot believe that car picked up that much, but we had never put good tires on it, and that was the whole thing. We never knew what new tires were going to do to this thing, and my God, it just, it responded. The car just was awesome, and I drove the wheels off of it just like Mike told me to, and here we are.
A year ago, you said it was a lonely Saturday and a very lonely Sunday because you had to go home, but this race means so much. It means sponsorship for years to come. It means prestige. It means an opportunity to win at Indianapolis. And right now, it means a great family reunion because Jeffrey Bodine has come out. Listen to this crowd.
I mean, just those adjustments I talked about, and man, you said new tires made it feel like glue, and it did. Man, it was awesome.
How worried were you, Jeffrey, that when you made your qualifying run went back that you maybe would have sent little brother home?
Well, you heard me. I didn't say I'm sorry, Mom, but I had confidence in him. I really did. I thought he was going to pull this off. I didn't know he was going to go that fast, though.
He come over and told me, he said, look, I'm telling you, new tires are going to make a big difference in this race car. He said, just got to believe in them. And, he said it ought to run down in the 20s anyways. And whoever thought it'd run down in the
track record, right?
New track record.
How about that, guys? The fastest car in the field will not be on the front row. It will probably start in 26th position. Brett Bodine. And guess who's down right next to him? Older brother Jeffrey.
Brett Bodine beats Rudd's time by 4 1,000ths of a second to capture the fastest speed ever turned in a stock car at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Well, the word not so good for Matt Kenseth, who ended up 42nd fastest. 50.712 is his lap, a 177.473, but he will also be able to get into the field on a provisional. Well, we had quite an emotional story play out here just a few moments ago. Brett Bodine and Jeffrey Bodine get into the field. Brett has a brand new track record, and when we come back, we'll relive an emotional moment from yesterday here at Indy. 5.5 miles to the west of downtown Indianapolis. Well, what a story has been played out. Now, while we're calculating the provisionals, and before we tell you exactly who gets in and who didn't, let's go back and relive the incredible story that played out here in first round qualifying at Indianapolis yesterday. Here is Darrell Waltrip, who must make this race on speed. He cannot use a provisional. His best start here came in 1997 when he lined up on the outside of the second row. His best finish was in 94 when he came home 6th.
Ray was told on the headset that Randy LaJoy made that seat that we saw in Johnny Benson's car there just a moment ago.
And as a lot of people know, Randy LaJoy is a very successful multiple champion Busch driver, so he knows a lot about what it takes to have a good, safe seat in a race car. And I know Randy's going into the seat business, and a lot of guys are now starting to switch over. Randy's seat is completely different than a traditional NASCAR seat.
Oh, DW's got a great lap going. That arrow would indicate about where we estimate he would be. Somewhere around 2nd, 4th. Can he jump it up a little bit? Oh, he did it! Oh, look at this! DW. 7.45 average speed, 180.923. Oh, DWB dancing the jig when he gets out, won't he?
The Nicky Shuffle will be back. That's faster than he practiced. He practiced at 180.249 and qualified at 180.923. How about that for the driver in his victory tour for the year 2000? His brother Michael among those cheering and congratulating Darrell Waltrip.
Wow.
Sounds like you need to start telling Darrell he's out of provisionals more.
Yeah, that's right. He has gotten the trick done here today.
He's the man.
Listen to the crowd and Waltrip with his hand in the air.
So evidently he had his radio on and his crew told him just how quick that lap was. Hey.
This is about as big a response during a qualifying session I can ever remember here at Indy. Has 59 pole positions, the most in the modern era. His last pole was in November of '95 at Atlanta. Will it hold up here today? We'll stay with us during the remainder of the afternoon, and we will find out. In any case, just an excellent run for ODW. Jerry?
And they continue to come over to congratulate Darrell Waltrip, trying to get unbuckled. The smile, he's smiling so wide. And listen to this, folks.
And just moments ago, Darrell Waltrip, as we come back live, accepting a, looks like a $5,000 check, huh?
How about that? That must be for the outside. Well, I don't know. The Ricky Rudd's is only $5,000.
That's the front row for tomorrow's race. And this will be the 26th and 27th starters, although Brett Bodine, being elevated by his brother Jeffrey, is the fastest of all, 181.073. Down to Jerry Punch.
Well, from the front row to the final row in the field, but the good news is, Stacey Compton, you are in the field for the first time in Indianapolis. Your qualifying effort, not enough today, 50.819, but you will start 43rd.
Well, awful disappointing with that Kodiak Mellon Taurus. We've been struggling since we got here and just can't quite put our finger on what we need, but I think we'll have a decent race car. We're in the show. That's the main thing right now, and now we can work on the race setup. We've sort of neglected that a little bit, trying to get ready for qualifying, but hopefully we can get our car dialed in and be pretty good for the race.
Your car owner, Mark Melling, up in Michigan, missing part of the rehearsal for the wedding to watch qualifying. Realize you guys didn't get in by speed, but you are in the field, and I know you and the team want to run well for Mark, who will not be here. I don't think he's missed a race in a long, long time.
Well, I tell you, congratulations to Mark and Leanne. They're getting married this weekend, and Mark sure didn't want to miss Indy, but some things come first, and we miss you. We wish you up here, but I'm sure they'll be having fun wherever they're going to be.
Mark had to attend a wedding, his, and so it's probably good that he be there. Good luck to you on Saturday.
Thanks a lot.
AC Compton starts 43rd.
Well, we have determined the starting lineup for the Brickyard 400 tomorrow here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You can see it on ABC Sports, and we'll show you the lineup when we come back. Indianapolis Motor Speedway live, as now the field has been set for tomorrow's 7th running of the Brickyard 400. Here is the lineup. There are the top 15. Now, within these top 15, 2 in their first Brickyard 400. Dale Earnhardt Jr. will start in the 6th position, and Scott Pruitt, a veteran of this racetrack in the Indy cars, will start in 11th spot.
Check out 16 through 30 for the starting lineup for the Brickyard 400. Ward Burton will be 16th. There's Kenny Wallace. And back in 26, we find today's qualifiers, Brett Bodine and his brother Jeffrey Bodine. And then we go back to all the cars that stood on their time from yesterday.
And here's the remainder of the lineup. Mike Bliss, Matt Kinson, and Stacey Compton also in their first Brickyard 400. However, all of those, with the exception of Bliss, had to take a provisional to get in. Here are the drivers who did not qualify: Kyle Petty, Robbie Gordon, Dave Marcus, Bill Baird, David Keith, and Rich Bickle. Jerry is with two of the drivers who unfortunately did not make it.
And, of course, right side of your screen, Dave Marcus, and left side, Bill Baird. Let's talk to Bill first. The pride of Sturgis, Kentucky. Bill Baird, reigning ARCA champion. Bill, you came to Indy hoping you'd be able to get in the field, and you said you just couldn't quite get the car figured out.
Well, we having Jerry, the new 2000 Monte Carlo was just giving us a fit. We tried it up Pocono and come here with the two brand new cars and actually tested it a whole lot better than what we ran up here. We tested for 4 days up here and really disappointed, but at the same time, I got to come to Indy. A lot of people have never got to do that. And so from that side of it, we're not disappointed, and hopefully we can get these cars worked out and maybe show up at another Winston Cup race before long.
Yeah, what's next for you? Go back and run some ARCA events in the near future, and then maybe one more Winston Cup before the year's out?
Yeah, maybe even 2 more Winston Cups, but we're going to go up and whip everybody's butt up at Springfield and Duquoin on the dirt. I love those people up there, and the worst finish we've had there in the last 2 years is a second. So we're going back and change the leaders around a little bit in ARCA racing, I hope. Look out, you ARCA guys. Bill Baird's on his way back. Good luck to you, Bill. Let's go over and talk to Dave Marcus. Dave, I know you wanted it in a bad way. You've been here all week testing the IROC cars and getting them all dialed in, but it wasn't to be.
No, we came up a little bit short, Jerry. And, I mean, you know, we tried, and I guess we changed the steering box right at the end of practice. And that seemed to help our car. We picked up considerable, but then Jeremy Mayfield had his incident. We didn't really get to run it again. So, and we had some gains today in qualifying over yesterday, but I think I probably found my problem a little bit too late. And it is disappointing, you know, to have to pack up and go home because this is such a great race, such history, and such a great purse here.
You know, you talk about the future and all that you've done in racing, but we know a couple of weeks from now you're going to put another Earnhardt in your car at Michigan. Kerry Earnhardt will be driving the 71. Does that mean that you may not be in the car for many more events? This could be it this year?
Well, at this point in time, I plan on running all the rest of the races this year with the exception of Michigan, and Kerry will be in the car at Michigan.
All right, you think there's history at this racetrack? Let me show you history. Till down here, and let's show you some historic shoes. If those wingtips could talk, boy, could we have some racing stories to tell.
Well, we'll have racing stories tonight to tell you when we televise live at 8:30 Eastern Time the Kroger 200 for the NASCAR Busch Series as their campaign continues. They're qualifying this afternoon and will be ready to go at 8:30 tonight. You can see it live on ESPN. For more, log on to ESPN every day here in Indianapolis as the Brickyard 400 field has been set. Now let's tell you about some more coverage from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Well, we'll have more when we return to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Brett Bodine is the fastest second-round qualifier. Speedway live, good crowd on hand. They're awaiting happy hour, and then later this afternoon the IROC race, which again you will see tomorrow afternoon after the Brickyard 400 on ABC. Scoring pylon there, one of the landmarks here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and it's showing you the starting lineup for tomorrow's race.
Unfortunately, just has 33 spots.
Yeah, they rotate the other starters down at the bottom in changing letters. There's some of the crowd out, I believe, in turn number 4 here at the Speedway. Well, all of the construction that had been underway for the past 2 years has apparently been completed. Kevin Forbes, who's the superintendent of grounds here, has said that the work is 99% done, and a lot of it was, of course, being done to accommodate the SAP Formula One race that will be held here next month. And among the new things built was the new pagoda, or the new scoring tower right in the middle of the main straightaway. Bill Weber?
Well, back here in the garage where teams are getting ready for a happy hour, Gary Dehart is crew chief for Terry Labonte. Todd Bodine qualified your car yesterday. I know there are still a lot of pieces you're trying to put together here, but can you just update us on your driver situation here?
Well, Terry was going back to the doctor this morning, and they was going to do some inner-ear look at some problems there maybe, and he's supposed to be on his way back up here now. He's in the airplane evidently, and we don't know if he'll get here for last practice or not. So we're just kind of waiting to see ourselves.
And Todd Bodine has a race tonight at IRP. Do you have a driver for happy hour?
Yes, Todd's on his way back over here also. So the practice luckily worked out to where he can get back over here. He may be a few minutes late, but he should be back on his way over here too.
Now, we talked yesterday, people being very careful here with Terry because he's coming off the concussion at Daytona.
Yeah, you can't be too careful about things like this. You know, we were concerned a little bit because he was a little bit dizzy yesterday, and we didn't really know what the deal was. And we
better be cautious than take a chance on something. We sure don't want to go out there and lose another car and then hurt Terry again, which the most important thing is hurting Terry. We don't want to do that. So just being cautious about it. And Todd's done a good job for us and qualified the car real good, been practicing real good. And if Terry feels like getting in the car when he gets back, we'll stick him right back in there.
Okay, Gary, thanks for your time. Best of luck this weekend. Jerry?
All right, Robbie Reiser owns the car, or actually is the crew chief and co-owner of the car that leading Rookie of the Year contender Matt Kenseth tried to qualify here. And, Robbie, you guys end up taking a provisional starting spot, 37th. You're in the field, but I know a little bit disappointed that you couldn't get a little more speed out of it and get in on qualifying time and speed.
Yeah, we've been struggling a little bit in qualifying trim. I don't really know what's wrong. We tried twice here this weekend, and we haven't been able to get it up to speed, so we'll just have to keep working on the race stuff.
You know, it seemed like Matt was commenting earlier, even yesterday, that maybe you got good motors, you got Roush engines, so maybe it's just the aero package on the car that just takes a little while when you come to a place like this. Maybe if you could do it over again, would you bring a different car?
Yeah, obviously, whenever you're sitting in this situation, you look at it differently once you're into it, but we don't have the right package here for qualifying, but I think we're okay in race runs. We ran real good this morning, and we'll just have to keep working on that and hope for the best.
Okay, Robbie, we'll let you get back to work. Good luck to you.
All right, thanks.
Robbie Reiser owns the car. Matt Kenseth will start from 37th starting spot in the 7th annual Brickyard 400 on Saturday morning.
Of course, Matt's still trying to retain the points lead as far as Rookie of the Year standings are concerned. The very bestest Rookie of the Year award at the end of the season. And Matt Kenseth right now leading points over Dale Earnhardt Jr. Take another break and be back in a moment to Indianapolis. And what a story it was as Brett Bodine became the fastest qualifier here in second round and the fastest qualifier overall. He was even faster than Ricky Rudd's pole speed yesterday. Brett today ran 181.072, whereas Rudd qualified at 181.068 yesterday. And Jeffrey Bodine, his brother, was the second fastest qualifier in the second round.
The very, very beautiful Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Man, what a place this is.
Really has a lot of history and a lot of tradition, and Jerry Punch is with us.
Well, down in the garage area, a lot of people thinking about what's going to happen here in the 12 garage for Jeremy Mayfield. We told you at the very top of the show an incident happened at about 11 a.m. local time or 12 Eastern time involving Jeremy Mayfield's primary car over in turn 3 when an erupted engine off the 97 car of Chad Little spewed all over the racetrack. Rusty Wallace came through the oil and sort of scattered sideways, and Jeremy came behind him and smacked the wall. You saw Rusty's car slide a little bit, slip through that, and then Jeremy came back, hit the wall, has been taken to Methodist Hospital for a CAT scan. Now we are back in his garage with his teammate Rusty Wallace. And Rusty, I guess the news so far on Jeremy is pretty good.
Yeah, I hope it is. I mean, they were just telling me his car took a tremendous hit driver's side first, and to get out of that thing with no broken bones and all that's really good. I just hope that he'll be ready to go for tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, the next week, and wish him all the luck in the world if he's having a recovery problem or whatever. But I just told the guys they got his backup car, so let's get this thing done and ready to go. And I'll go run my car and I'll jump in this and we'll shake this down, make sure everything's looking good on it for him, because we're looking forward for him to getting back. But what a wild ride. I came down to Jeremy, was waiting on me. We both hooked up. Teammates came down the back straightaway, and all of a sudden I arced off into 3 and I about wrecked. I turned dead sideways. The car just jumped out from underneath me, and I drove it up into grade to save it. And I looked in the rearview mirror and he was spinning and heading into the wall driver's side first. And so when I saw that, I was just got an eerie feeling. But man, I'm gonna tell you what, it's all the more reasons. I'm telling these cats, we got to have these soft walls at these racetracks. This is about the 4th time in a row this has happened. It's getting ridiculous, and it's time for the racetracks to step up and do something now.
Rusty, when will you guys make a decision? They said it'll be a Roger Penske team decision, Rusty Wallace and everyone involved, as to what you have to do with putting someone in a car if Jeremy can't go.
It won't be my decision. You know, I'll have, if they ask me, I'll give them input. But as a partner, I need to shake it down for them, make sure it's okay. And unless Michael Cranafist finds somebody that he'd rather do it. But I just want to get it so if Jeremy does come back, that he's got a good sound car underneath him.
Okay, Rusty Wallace will head off and practice his car. You'll be able to see Happy Hour later this evening at 7:30. By the way, in this garage area, a number of drivers who have not qualified, you saw just go a moment ago, didn't make the show, have come by to offer their services, if needed, to drive this car on Saturday. Let's go down to Bill Weber.
Well, back here with Darrell Waltrip, starting outside the front row. You had some practice.
Still there.
Yeah, I just want to make sure you hadn't left town or
still
something.
There, no. No, I'll tell you what, I don't know how much longer I can wear this uniform, though. Last night at dinner, people were looking at me kind of funny. but
it's not the uniform.
I'm afraid to take it off. I think I'm going to sleep in it again tonight, be ready to go in the morning.
How's that car?
I think it's pretty good. We'll find out here in happy hour. We made a lot of, we tried a lot of things in the 2 hours we had this morning, which we don't always get the luxury to do. So I think I'm pretty good, and we'll find out here in just a little bit. I believe I can, my goal for tomorrow is to stay up there somewhere near where I am. Don't want to get the car where I can't drive it or where it's not happy in traffic. You know, if you get your car mad, it won't perform for you. So I'm trying to get my car happy right now. Good luck.
Darrell Waltrip does have the outside front row starting position for tomorrow's race. RPM tonight, as the coverage continues of the Brickyard 400, can be seen at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. The happy hour coverage at 7.
In the Brickyard 400.
Mayfield crashed hard in turn 3 during Friday morning's practice session. He was knocked unconscious but has been released from Methodist Hospital. Doctors say he suffered a concussion and as a result will not race. Instead, Kyle Petty, who failed to qualify for the race, will drive the number 12 car.
It's a concussion. He got checked. All the tests were negative. He has, when I left, we talked 10 minutes. He remembers everything. He's very upset, of course, that he can't drive. And he may be released later on this afternoon or during the night.
He was released, checked himself out of the hospital. Jeremy in Man Street. Terry Labonte, who broke his right leg and also suffered a concussion in a crash at Daytona last month, has decided not to race at the Brickyard this weekend, and he will also sit out next week's race at Watkins Glen.
I've still got some problems from a concussion, so I'm a little bit. Yesterday I got a little bit dizzy in practice, so went back, went to the doctor, and really you can't find anything wrong, and it's just symptoms from the concussion. So it's you know, just I'm gonna take off a couple weeks, get over it, and come back. So.
How difficult is it to break this record, this streak?
I didn't think it was going to be hard until I walked in here.
Todd Bodine qualified Terry's car on Thursday. Will start Saturday afternoon's race at Indy in the 25th spot. With Terry out, Dale Earnhardt now has a chance at breaking Labonte's streak of 655 consecutive starts, but it's going to take him about a year to do that. The International Race of Champions Series race at IRP. You know, the trucks like to bump and grind, and they did plenty of that. Rick Crawford and Carlos Contreras tangled on the front stretch. Check this out. 3 wide, Randy Tolsman, Jim Englebright, Jamie McMurray into the turn. Tolsman didn't make it through. Even friends weren't immune from the trouble. Terry Cook, Jason Leffler got together ending Cook's night, but Rubin led more than 3/4 of the race, picked up the victory and a new contract for next year.
It just took a win's all it took. If you'd have told me that earlier, I just went ahead and did one earlier, but I think that gave us a little incentive to try to win this race.
We weren't that good to begin with, and we made a pit stop and loosened the truck up, and track position was big. I mean, sitting there running and leading and then running second or third, I was fine, and I think Jack cut a tire down or something, moved right by him, but it was a good run for us.
With 6 races remaining, Greg Biffle continues to hold a 109.
Montoya from a year ago, although Montoya wasn't this good. In 21 Busch Series events this year, Green has 18 top 10 finishes. 16 of those were top 5s, 5 of them wins. His points lead is ridiculous. 547 points with 11 races to go prior to Friday's Kroger 200. And yet, they still insist upon holding these races. Back to Indianapolis we go. Off the green flag, Kevin Harvick in the 6 car taking the field 3 wide through the corner. Harvick again searching for the best line, goes to the bottom of the track. It kind of worked. He finished 8th. Lap 31, Tony Raines gets a little push from Hank Parker Jr. Raines up into the wall. Now, I'm no mechanic, but this doesn't look right. Not so good. He would come back to the race. Rubbing is racing, as they say. Dick Trickle and P.J. Jones trading paint, racing hard during the 3rd caution of the day. Jason Leffler in the 18 comes into the pits in 2nd, leaves in 7th. That's a bad pit stop, and the crew knows it. This stupid logo. Leffler would finish 4th. Jeff Green never led a lap at Raceway Park before last night. Now he's led 112 of them. He would finish 3rd. Lap 120, Wayne Grubb taps Mike McLaughlin. They both hit the wall. Kevin Grubb rides on top of Hank Parker Jr. McLaughlin is not a very happy man. He throws off the harness, crawls into Wayne Grubb's car, and gives him the what for. Lap 143, it's Rock'em Sock'em Racing in turn 2. Everybody's tangled up.
Johnny Rumley, again, I am no expert, but that doesn't look right. Tony Raines taking care of the right side this time. He's tangled up. Lap 152, Ron Hornaday will pass Jeff Purvis down low and take over the lead in the 3-car. Lap 157, Jason Schuler, he gets loose. He, bang, tags the infield wall. Same lap, different part of the track. P.J. Jones, you must be this tall to ride this ride. The complete 360, he would finish 26th. 17 laps to go, on board with Hornaday, looking at Jeff Purvis trying to take the lead. Hornaday holding him off. 8 laps to go. Buckshot Jones scrapes the wall. He was done for the night. Sets up a restart. Ron Hornaday known for getting the good jump, and he does so. Leaping out to the lead. 4 laps to go. Purvis trying to find room inside. Can't do it. Hornaday shutting him down again. His crew in the pits getting a little bit squirmy. Hornaday and Purvis 1-2 across the finish line. The crew for Hornaday celebrating as Hornaday with the NASCAR-mandated Gatorade shower. Second win in a month on the Busch Series. He started 16th. Jeff Green led 113 of the first 120 laps. He hung on for third behind Jeff Purvis. Jason Leffler was the pole sitter. He would finish fourth. The race winner spoke to Matt Yoakum after. Rudd said, I kind of hated to do that. The reason? Because he knocked off Darrell Waltrip to get there. DW's victory lap took a dramatic turn this weekend as he qualified second for the race today, nearly winning his first pole in 5 years. In our last lap segment, Waltrip talks about his lifelong dream of driving at the Brickyard.
I can remember as a little guy going up to Indianapolis. I worked for Ray Skillman and his dad, Bill. And we'd go up to Indianapolis and pick up cars and take them back down to Owensboro. We'd go up there and we'd buy these cars, and, of course, we'd drive by that big green fence, you know. And I'd never been inside of there, but I knew it was awesome. And I'll never forget Les Richter called me one day, and he said, let me ask you something. How would you like to run Indy? I said, Coach, it's way, you know, he's associated with Roger and everything. That might make me an offer. I don't know. I said, I'm too old. I missed my opportunity to run there. I said, my wife would kill me if I even thought about getting in one of those Indy cars. He started laughing. He said, no, in a stock car. I said, in a stock car, that would be awesome. And I'll never forget we went up there for what they call the tire test. So, man, I'll never forget being in the garage area and just thinking about all the, world-famous drivers that had walked up and down those garages, that had driven on that racetrack, and all the images I had of that race. Salt Walters coming down the front straightaway on fire, and his car flying into a million pieces, and his legs dragging along the ground, and AJ and Johnny Rutherford and Mario and all those guys that were really, truly, I always thought that's where I would race. When I started, my mission was to be an open-wheel driver. That's the greatest race track that there is.
In 6 previous Brickyard starts, DW has 4 top 20 finishes, including his career best finish at the inaugural Brickyard in 19...
Oh, and Mark
Blundell. Oh, boy. Did he... it's hard to tell. He may have just gotten it around a little bit. Jimmy Basser on his final lap moves to 7th quick. 1:22.370.
And you could see some damage to the wing end plate there against the wall. Looks like he lost it coming under Thunder Valley. May have done a couple of tank slappers there.
So now most of the field slows down. Everyone has taken out. There may be one more car yet to see the checkered flag. But, of course, as soon as they see it, the laps are done. Mark Blundell with a less than great day. He's really had some problems recently. He's 18th quick, and he's capable of so much more. In the race, we may, in fact, see a substantial improvement from one very nice man. We'll be back with more from the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course right after this.
Indy winners.
Ohio Sports Car Course qualifying for the Miller Lite 200. And Mark Blundell on the rope as they bring him back in. Mark Blundell, we've got a couple angles. Look at this.
Coming on to Thunder Valley, there's a big crest there. The back end gets light. The drivers usually experience understeer on the way in. As the back end gets light, it comes over the top of that ridge. The back end snapped out. He got onto the curb. Now watch the onboard. This is a big yahoo, right? Yo! And makes light contact with the rear wing against the concrete.
Mark Blundell proving once again the brakes do not work when the car is in the air. He has made it back to the pit area. The provisional pole sitter and maybe track record holder is Gilles de Ferran. He's with Jan Vikas.
Yes, and Gilles de Ferran has just taped up the finger. You can see it here. Has that caused you any